yeah, whenever we say fog, do it. There we go. It's a smoky day down here at Gabriel Rogan's Nate Leaf
Garcia
podcast.
Promotions.
Garcia Promotions here on 9th, baby. We got everything you need at this place. We got podcasts.
Tune in to TBAP to bring about podcast Monday. New episode out. First one.
Perfect.
Rafael Aguirre.
Hold on, bro.
What is it? Entrepreneur, owner?
You should have redone that. I want it again.
Why?
Because I liked it, but I had a bunch of dumb shit on it that I don't want.
It's a smoky day down here at
Actually,
Gabriel Rogan's Nate Leaf podcast. Garcia Promotions here.
What's
on
wrong with
9th,
that?
baby.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got everything you need at this place. We got
Tune in
podcasts.
to TBAP to bring about podcast Monday. New episode out. First one.
Ooh, that. You're supposed to say fucking Ralph, bitch.
That's what the camera guy does. Oh yeah, whenever we
Pinche
say
Rafa,
fog,
at least.
do it.
All right. Well,
There we go.
redo it.
I got a spotlight too on my Snap. Because if you got a hashtag, they'll follow it, bro.
Hey,
Like,
when you do this, like next day, shoot Ralph pulling up in the Escalade.
Yeah.
Jumping into the Ram.
I hope they bring me that fucking helicopter here soon. I'll pull up in that bitch on the roof.
How's the? Is it recording? All right. It better be. If this video fucks up, you're fired, Kondo. Kondo's our new audio engineer. He's learning.
I didn't even know what that was a thing.
We get a tax break with him.
Hey, bro, you know we can though, right? Hey, did you know one of the things? I bet you probably didn't know, Gabriel.
What? Your volume good?
Yep. It's so crazy, man, because you really can get subsidies for shit like this.
Yeah.
Like people don't know, like what you just said. It's fucking insane because we
He's in
can,
all the shots, right?
because we can.
I just want to make sure he moves around a lot and he's really backed up.
Yeah, I know.
So
I
is
won't
he
be
still in the shot?
I
He
won't
should
be in
be
that
off
one.
to the right.
I won't.
Yeah, I'm good in that one, right? He's good in that one?
You're both good on this one.
Yeah, that one's good. Is that one good? Because he's really far back.
No, it's good.
He's in.
All right, and this one he's still in? Because I like when he's off to the side. I don't like when he's centered.
No,
He's good? All right.
Take 3. All right.
No, that's all get edited out.
I thought you said
So
we didn't.
what's up,
you
man?
just said we don't do no editing. What's wrong with you?
A little bit of editing.
Just enough to keep us out of jail.
Exactly.
No,
So,
but what I was saying though, man, I'm sorry to cut you
No,
off.
you're
But
good.
we were talking about that whole subsidies like to get from the government. You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy because Hollywood gets it for this. I don't know
Hold
if
on.
you knew
Put
that.
your mic up real quick. You see where mine is?
Yes, sir.
All right, here. No, huh? You see how it is? Straight up on you. It should be right here. You should be speaking over it about a fist away. This dude. Bitch, look at mine. Look at yours.
I'm looking at it.
should be able to pick it up.
What's wrong?
No, it's a fucking dynamic mic, dude. You gotta
Okay, like that.
Yeah, you speak right over it about a fist away.
Oh my, Miss Chucho.
Yeah, that's it. Just like that. That's cool.
You know that's why I never made it to acting class in school, right?
Wow.
Or no classes, as a matter of fact.
All right, let's redo this. First episode. We are here with fucking Ralph.
Fucking Ralph out of Kansas City.
Yeah, Rafael Aguirre. Kondo doesn't like how I say that, but I don't give a fuck.
Kondo over there being our
Our
editor,
audio engineer,
producer,
for
engineer.
for the first episode. I'm all alone on this one, man.
Well, they told me it was a fans only, so
Only fans.
only fans. Fans only. We're going to do the fans only then.
Oh,
Only
this
fans. No, but actually I was telling you about this whole Hollywood thing, how they get all these incentives from the government to bring new jobs. Like Atlanta, if you look at Atlanta, that's why they're leaving California, right? People don't know a lot about this. I do a lot of research when it comes to business.
Mm-hmm.
But in California, man, a lot of the Hollywood agencies and a lot of the podcasts and a lot of people, that's why they're leaving there, because they're actually getting better tax breaks and they're getting better incentives to bring a new Hollywood to places like Atlanta, places like Texas, just different places. Because what's happening when you say you start this podcast studio right now, you know, you don't look at it as, you know, it's a game. But really what you're doing, you're creating jobs in the community.
Yeah.
So by you going up to the city and you say, hey, listen, I got this podcast, and we're actually going to go do that now that you're going to be with us. We're going to go see what we can do. They got a CDC here where they have a program where they go and meet, and they have all the incentives for stuff like that. So by us bringing something like this, and we're bringing young entrepreneurs that are going to tell their story here in the city, man, they'll love that. And I promise you, they got places where they have incubators, where they'll have office spaces, which you already have. But I just kind of wanted to bring that up because you said, man, how we get money. Everything gets money from the city. Everything, you know, just like Elon Musk did for the cars when he built the cars. That was all city money. That was all taxpayers' money. But he did pay it back. Yeah, which was great. But yeah,
I feel like we just dove straight into that right now. We know without an introduction.
Yeah, I agree.
If people can't tell, Rafael owns his own business, so he knows a lot about this shit. So,
and I don't know a lot. I just kind of fall into a lot of this research from experiences.
Hey, you know a lot. Don't put yourself down.
From working with other people that's done it in the past. That and I'm always just watching and looking to learn. Yeah, most of the time I always stay quiet in the rooms. I talk a lot when I'm around my friends and you guys.
Oh yeah, that's why I wanted you on the first episode. I know you'd be able to fill at least an hour or two.
But when it comes down to the business side, man, most of the time I'm just sitting there listening, taking notes. Yeah, for that because.
So this podcast was actually supposed to come out like a couple of weeks ago, but we've had some scheduling conflicts, and we finally were able to make it happen. You were in Chicago last week. How was that?
It was nice.
Yeah?
A little cold, but it was nice. It was
took off on me, bitch.
I know it was for Easter weekend. It was last minute. You already know how we do things,
man.
We
were supposed to record. He took off on me. Ralph's very spontaneous. He just takes off and does crazy shit, So we're hoping to hear some stories today of...
We were supposed to record that day at 4, and I was trying to leave to Chicago at 3.
When was the last time we went to Chicago? It was shit.
5, 6 years ago?
Maybe longer. No,
maybe longer.
7, 8 maybe.
Yeah, I know. Time
flies. What did you guys do out there?
Just went out. Sightseeing. What do you call that chrome bean they got out there?
Oh yeah. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, I've seen it before.
Just went out there, man. Went out to the.
You guys eat out there?
To the water. Oh yeah, you already know. That's all we do. Just eat and smoke. 420. But we did do a lot of eating. Yeah. Giordano's Pizza. Couple of seafood places, just all over the place, man.
That's a long drive to take off in the middle of the night.
It was actually pretty cool though, because this was actually the first time for me in about, I want to say, 20 years, 15 years that I've actually had a full family trip with all my family, my siblings, my brothers, my sisters. Yeah. So it was pretty cool. It was actually.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have a vehicle for that now, so that helps too.
It was different. It was different, so. Yeah. It was nice. Normally, we always go on vacation separate, just me and my wife and the kids, or
for sure
separate. But this time it was actually pretty cool to take my brothers and sisters and all the nieces and nephews. Man, it was like 17, 18 of us out there. Yeah, so dope, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, man, those vacations are kind of hard sometimes getting that many people together, But when it clicks, it's pretty dope.
And the way it clicked, man, it's spontaneous. I called my sister. I said, "Hey, you want to go to Chicago?"
Yeah, I was there.
You were in the car actually. What'd she say? What time? Let's go.
Yep, I said they were down.
So, and that's what that's one of the things that, it was pretty.
Yeah, those trips, those are pretty, they're hard to do, but they're pretty cool.
Yeah, we didn't plan anything, so it was pretty. Yeah. It was pretty nice.
That's dope. Well, I don't want to start this off. Tell me about yourself, man. Like, give me a little backstory on, I've known Ralph for shit. I don't know, damn near 15 years almost. It's been a while. And I've seen your progressions in life, working for the union, Painters Union, to now own your own business. Maybe give a little backstory on yourself. What do you guys do? What's your company? And just give me a little, backstory on it.
All right. Well, we go all the way back. I guess we could start right where the painting side was, because before I joined the union, I've always been in the construction industry. My parents actually, when they came to the country, they came as immigrants and they worked as farmers.
Really?
They picked cherries, they picked apples, they picked asparagus, they did the whole nine up in Seattle.
Where were they from?
Colima. They're from Colima, Mexico.
Okay.
They've been here for about 36, 40 years and still don't speak English. But, I think it's been a choice for them because, like you said, they've always been in the working industry. They've never actually been nowhere else but at work with Hispanic people that are just working all day. So they don't know nothing. Sure. So that's all they learn is work, and that's it.
That's probably where you get a lot of your shit from, seeing that growing up.
Yeah, that's all we did know how to do was work. Yeah. I was a little mistaken, I guess, though, in life. The way my dad raised us, we're raised to work hard. And don't get me wrong, I 100%, but it should have been work smart.
Yeah. Okay. And they moved here straight to Kansas City, or did they kind of jump around? Because I know a lot of people that come from, down there tend to end up in like California and then move to the Midwest. At least that's how it is. For
sure.
People I know. You know what I mean? Or they just came straight to the Midwest from Colima.
The first time they came straight to Kansas City in '86, I would say, because that's when I was born.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, we were here for about a year or 6 months. They had that amnesty where the work was real hard for them to find any kind of work in the city. So that's when they decided to go out to Washington, because that's when they had the field work. They had all the field, the work and working in asparagus.
Yeah, there's a lot of people from Colima in Washington, ain't it?
Well, it's because, you got to understand that where we're from, they follow where their people are going to.
Oh, okay.
So when people from Colima first left, I'm pretty sure they all went to California.
Okay.
And from California, what they do, they chase the picking, the whole picking. They pick cherries, they pick apples. So for whatever reason, they ended up in Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
Because really their goal was, my dad mentioned, their goal was to go out on a fishing boat to go fish. So I don't know what my life would have been if they would have got on that.
Yeah, because Colima's near the ocean, right?
Well, Colima is.
Yeah.
But in
Colima.
Seattle, they have this deal where I think a lot of people would dock. And this is just me thinking about some of the stuff that, as a kid growing up, I remember some of my dad's friends, they would come every once in a while and then they would leave. And they would go on a fishing boat, and I think that's where all the money was at. So that's why their goal was to try to leave the fields to go to that.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Yeah, man, them offshore fishermen, I mean, they make pretty good money, don't they?
I would think so.
Yeah,
better
I've seen
than
that
picking
show Deadliest Catch and all that shit.
Yeah, better than picking onions. And
in fucking 100-degree weather.
I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough. I can't,
Yeah, I can't imagine.
I give them mad props, bro, for going through that.
So then from there they moved to Kansas City.
From there they
pursued to, because I know at that time period, and from what I was told, Missouri, the Midwest is offering a lot more money than it was on those coastal cities.
Still is.
Cost of living,
Still is.
Yeah, for sure.
It still is.
And I know a lot of them migrated towards the Midwest, for better opportunities and a lower cost of living.
Correct.
And better job, better pay. So
smaller city too.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine my parents living in California.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I think your life does definitely change living in a city.
Yeah,
like that.
for sure. So they ended up moving out here and then doing the same thing they were doing out in Washington here.
Yes, they did. They actually picked apples here, and I'm not sure. Actually, I do remember, Alex. Remember that Stevenson's Farms? They got a farm here that was called Stevenson's Farm here.
Where's that at?
Off of Blue Springs or Lee Summit.
Oh, really?
And it was an orchard. And I actually, now that I think about it, I got to work there.
Really?
I got to work there I was maybe 10 years old, bro.
That's crazy. What's that like? What's the fucking just working all day picking apples, man?
No, I wasn't picking apples. They were picking apples, and what they had me doing was loading this machine with 1 gallon milk jugs, because that's where they put the cider.
Oh.
It was pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool. I've always enjoyed working more than school, though. Yeah. I was always more of a hands-on. So, and I think that was one of my biggest troubles going to school, because when I was growing up in Washington, my parents bounced from town to town. They would go from the pickings, from the apples to the cherries to wherever they were going. So what that did, that caused us keep us from going to school.
Yeah.
Because we didn't go to school much. I don't think I went to school really formally until I was like 9 or 10 years old.
I mean, I've always been a guy to believe that, school, it's a good thing, man, for some people.
It's a beautiful thing. It's education.
There's some people that it just doesn't click, man, because they teach they have a system, right, in place, basically teaching people to work a 9 to 5, and go to college. That whole structure of schooling is set up to be, from this time to this time, you're sitting at this desk, you have your break, your lunch. It's kind of teaching you a work day, to be a worker. You know what I mean?
It is.
And for some people, for that 1%, it just doesn't align. You know what I mean? And I don't think that's a bad thing at all.
No, not at all. I think one of the things is, just our school systems are just old.
Oh yeah,
that's all it is.
Outdated,
I don't even think it's the school system's fault. I don't think it's the teacher's fault. I really don't think so. I think it's really just
the curriculum is just old.
It's just the old system, and it's really up to our parents to be us as a parent to be able to see if your kid falls in that curriculum, because you know when a kid, as a young age, the kid's habits, how they are. You could kind of start to see like, this kid's gonna have a little trouble.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean he's a bad kid. All that means he's just an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I know. Nowadays they're quick to fucking tell you, hey, your kid's wild, put them on ADHD pills.
Correct,
you know,
correct. Because you don't want to follow the line. Why should he?
Why take that away from him?
Why should he follow the line? He's going to the same place.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
It don't make no sense to me.
Exactly.
But I could never understand that part.
Yeah.
I had to do it. You know, in the system, it's like a prison. It's like almost they're teaching you to prison because you got to follow rules and all the whole nine. It's a prison, but you get to go home.
Yeah.
Because
basically
it is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
it's a little harsh. Those words, but I understand what you're saying.
No, it's harsh, but it's
because
really
it's the same thing in prison. They have their days planned.
Correct, and if you don't do what you're supposed to, you get punished.
Yeah.
What's
different type of punishment?
Different type of punishment,
but still a punishment.
It's still a punishment. So
I totally agree.
And so that's the fear that they'll put in everyone.
And when you moved to Kansas City, you guys, where did you grow up at when you first moved here?
In Kansas City, I grew up on the east side of Kansas City.
Okay.
And it goes all the way from 23rd all the way where I ended up growing most of my years was on 27th.
Uh-huh.
On 27th of Lister.
That's near the northeast area. On the east side of the northeast area.
Yeah, it's south of northeast.
Okay.
So, but it's in the it's.
And the reason I bring this up, you know, I want to get a gist of your life and understand. You know, especially us talking about school, you went to these type of schools that they're having one of the biggest, problems with right now. And their thing they're talking about a lot of times is these schools not being funded enough. And I like your argument more of maybe they're not being funded enough, but at the same time, the curriculum is old. Is more money going to create a new curriculum for the schools to get students more engaged, or is more money still going to push the old system, but just have more money? You know what I mean? Like you went to these schools, right?
More money never fix a problem. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
If anything, it just makes the worst worse.
Mm-hmm.
And
so what? Explain to me how it was being in those type of inner city schools.
I mean, it's just like normal. You go to these schools just like any kid. You show up the first day, you're scared.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what's going on, but just it's like I said, it would be just like I would think of a jail. If you went to jail, what are you going to do? You're going to be in there scared, quiet, worried. Start looking around which crews you're going to hang out with, what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And from that day, you decide, hey, I'm going to hang out with these guys over here because they don't get in no trouble and I don't want no trouble.
Yeah. And that's another thing, too, that I'm thinking. It's like I think a lot of people look on these inner city schools as if all hope is lost. But, a lot of people come out of there fine. You know what I mean? Like, I only went to inner city schools for a very short period of, in my life. And I've noticed a difference between going to those schools and going to suburban schools. I probably would have known more if I would have gone to like a middle school, high school. I think that's where a lot of the issues lie more. You know what I mean? But I think there's a very big misconception when it comes to these schools. And a lot of the times I know they like to direct a lot of it on the schools themselves.
No.
And for sure, maybe they could invest a little more in those. But I think it always starts in the home, man.
It does.
You know
And that's what I
mean?
was going to say. It starts with the parents, man, because at the end of the day, check this out. Mm-hmm. I grew up in the inner city, and my dad was wild. My dad partied. The whole nine. There's not much I didn't get to see growing up.
Yeah.
Good or bad. But with that said, my dad would never let me do shit that was out of line, no matter how it was his way or the highway, and it was just like that.
Yeah.
So that's why in the house, you got to have a parent that's going to be able to do that, because if not, man, you can't expect the school to turn you out a good kid. It's not
a lot of the things that we're losing too is that two-parent home. You know what I mean?
But that's what I mean. It starts with the parents. I don't think they should put a lot of the blame in the school. Like, even all these things that are happening right now, you can't blame the school, man. It's only your responsibility for your kid.
Yeah.
And that's it. So at the end of the day, like I said, there were certain people that I couldn't hang out with because my dad, he wouldn't care. He would just he would go pick me up where I was at, and he snatched me up, and he probably punch anyone in there that would say something.
Yeah.
And that's just how it was.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we're getting away from. I mean, surely back then there was also a lot of single parent homes too, but I think one of the biggest issues is this new movement now of this baby mama, baby daddy, single parent homes, just this whole new wave, this new generation of, and not even new because it's our generation as well, of literally having kids and then just splitting up those families. And, I know this big thing of people like to say, if you're not happy, leave and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes a happier home could be more happier if you guys are split apart because of all the fighting. And I see that perspective too. But I also see the perspective of a two-parent home, just that yin and yang between father and mother, especially if you have a good balance, man, dude, that's something that you
I agree.
can't,
No, I agree.
Like, you can't get that in a one-parent home.
No, I
man,
agree. Whether it comes from a father or just a single mother or a single father, you can't do that. You have to have both because
it's like a team.
Because at the end of the day, man, a father's love is never going to be the same as a mother's love. Mm-hmm. That just ain't never going to happen. But sometimes the problem is that a lot of these mothers, they are the fathers.
Yeah.
So they'll try to give the same love as a mother and a father, and that's when they really, a lot of times,
that's confusing.
That's what I was trying to say. So that's what, that's the biggest thing. Or even a father, you can't give your son the same love as your mother would. Because I'm not going to go out there and if he falls and scrapes his knee on his bike, he's going to look at me like I'm a mean person because I'm going to snatch him up, wipe his knee off, and put him back on the bike.
No, yeah.
But his mom's going to run out there, probably call it. So it's different, it's different. And I know that because it comes from both of my parents. I have both of my parents at home. Mm-hmm. And I know my dad loves us truly, but it's still a different love than it is from my mom.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, same here.
It's just different.
I've noticed that too.
But I love it though, because don't get me wrong, I wouldn't want no soft love from my dad.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Because then that would confuse me.
I agree.
So I get it, but man, with that about these schools, man, a lot of these kids, man, in the inner city, man, we have so many entrepreneurs. We really do, and just anywhere, all in the inner city, in the suburbs, everywhere. But I think our biggest thing with that is that they're calling entrepreneur kids bad kids. They're putting a title on it, which is not really true. It's just that they're not fit for certain things. They're fit for other things. Because most of the times an entrepreneur gets in trouble. Why? Because he's trying to find an easy way out or the shortcut, right?
Right.
But that's what you do.
Yeah, I mean, in life.
Yeah,
if you can find the easier alternative,
correct,
with less resistance,
without doing something that's damaging to someone else or anything like that. There's ways.
Yeah.
Right? There's always ways. There's morals. There's different. So,
isn't all successful men? And women that go out there and start their own. They found a faster route to get to where they want to get to. You know what I mean? It's for sure.
But I guess we got a little sidetracked, but coming from
no. Hey man, in this podcast, I actually haven't given a backstory. This might be the best time to give it, in the middle of your story. But what I want from this podcast, man, is I don't want any structure, as you can tell, as me saying this shit right now. But I want it to be just conversation, man.
Like we're at the bar, just hanging out.
Yeah, I want the audience to be able to, there's one thing about me. I've been machining for the last 10 years, and podcasts have been a huge part of my life for the last 8, started with the Joe Rogan podcast, went to all sorts of different ones, Fighter and the Kid, and, et cetera, et cetera. And it really did help me get through those times. A lot of people don't realize that, there's people out there doing these jobs that are very isolating, very hard mentally, and when you bring conversation like this, it may help that guy get through that 10-hour shift. You know what I mean? And it helps you learn and expand. Fuck, dude. I feel like I've learned more from listening to podcasts and YouTube than I did in fucking school. You know what I mean? It's
a form of education.
It is, and you can also see different perspectives, different people's lives, and that's what I want to bring to this, man. This podcast is not going to be scripted into a certain genre or a certain specific thing. I want to interview people like you. I want to interview people from the fucking migrant worker to the fucking homeless man onto the street to the union guy, the union worker, to just anybody, businessman, celebrity. It don't matter, man. I just love hearing stories. And if you have a story to bring, I want to hear it at this table, That's one thing I've always been interested in, and I know that if that's something that I'm interested in, there's a lot of people out there that are interested in the same thing that love to hear conversations, because there's a lot you can learn from people, man. From all walks of life. And that's one beautiful thing about the internet is, you're not shut off in this echo chamber of your area. You can learn. Some guy in fucking New York can be watching
I agree.
right now and see this, you, a business owner from the Midwest, and see how you approach things, and it may kickstart something in him. You know what I mean?
I agree. No, I agree.
That's what I like, because we're all different.
And we all get inspired from everything and anything.
Yeah, I've been inspired to start this podcast just from listening to podcasts,
And that's beautiful because that's what I tell people all the time. And that's kind of one of the things that our school system and, the whole, and not even the school system, just in general, don't kill people's ideas, man. I don't give a shit how dumb it is. I don't care if they say, dude, I'm going to go paint rocks and sell them. Hey, man, make sure you get a oil-based paint. Yeah. That's the shit you say. You don't say, man, who's going to buy a rock?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
So that's kind of our biggest thing. That's why, a lot of times that's why I ask you, when you're in this business, I ask you, you're not an engineer, so don't expect shit to be perfect. Push it out in the assembly line.
Yeah.
Let it fall apart, then bring it back and put it back together.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got to try, right? I mean, even right now, I understand, I used to do a podcast before this one. I used to be Purple Pill Phenomena. Some people who know me know I used to do that podcast, co-host and audio engineer for that podcast. And, if I wouldn't have started that, if I wouldn't have just jumped for it, and I mean, fuck, I didn't.
You still be thinking about it.
I didn't. Yeah, I'd still be thinking
just
about
thinking
it, man.
About it.
If I would have listened to a lot of people who said, "You want to start a fucking podcast? What the fuck are you going to talk about? You're not interesting." If I would have listened to all that shit, I would have never started it. And even with that podcast, even though we're not doing it any longer, I always knew that I would end up doing something myself, and this is what it is. And I don't know if it's going to work.
Invite all those people.
I honestly don't give a fuck. All I know is that I'm doing this for me, and if people out there want to listen, man, they'll listen. You know what I mean? I know there's people out there that want to hear this shit, and I'm honestly not doing it for any type of self-gain. I'm doing it just because I like to do it,
Right.
I talk like a motherfucker outside of this shit. I figured, man, why not put a camera in front of my face and a mic and actually enjoy talking to some other people and learning some things? Because that's ultimately what I like. I want to create a network here in the Midwest to be able to connect with people and learn.
I agree.
And have this family or this network of people working together and helping each other out, achieve whatever we're trying to achieve.
I agree. Those people that gave you that shit for the podcast, man, make sure you have them on here later in about 2 years.
That's how it always works, right? They always talk shit until it starts blowing up, and then it's a different
Then they
story.
say they know you.
Yeah.
I knew that guy.
Exactly.
It's
But
okay.
So yeah, man, that's kind of what I got in. I'm starting this for. Also, some may not know the title "To Bring About." In my mind, and this is why I named the podcast this. One, I had a fuck ton of names and shit, and there's like millions of podcasts out there. A lot of them are taken, but one thing is that I want to bring about a lot of things out of people when they or this podcast may bring about a lot of things to people when they listen to it, different emotions, happiness, sadness, confusion, frustration, whatever. We're trying to bring about a lot of things out of people through this. Yeah. And or togetherness, or, whatever it can be, whatever you think, to bring about is the cause and effect of something. And that's what I want this podcast to be, so that's a little short description of it, but that's kind of the meaning behind the title. To me, it makes sense in my mind. Who knows if it makes sense out there? But I don't give a fuck, man. I mean, the name stuck with me. I remember one Sunday just fucking going through that title over and over again, and man, it just hit, bro. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go for it. Why am I getting hung up on a fucking title? Who gives a fuck? I want to talk.
Move it. That's it.
Yeah, just throw that shit out there. It makes sense in my mind. I know what I want to bring about to people. I know the things I want to cause when I, do this podcast. Let's just fucking slap that on. Let's do this shit. But that's kind of a little backstory to all this shit, and there'll be more to come. After you, but
we'll be here.
Yeah, let's get back on your story. My bad. It was kind of a weird.
No, you're good.
Weird fucking. We're still getting used to things. I haven't done podcasting in like the last 6 months, so bear with me. Hopefully, this gets better along the road.
I'm only here because of the invite to support my boy. So
Yeah, no, he felt bad for me. He's like,
Nah.
fuck, nobody else wants to be
oh
on
no,
here.
we'll get it. I promise you.
But going back, man, taking me through your life, I kind of want to just, start, there and move up to where you are now, where you're living. I know you said you were living up on the east side. How was that growing up there?
Well, put it like this. I think I don't think, I know for a fact I want to say I was probably the only Hispanic on that block.
Oh, really?
All my friends growing up were African Americans.
Oh, okay.
So, being a new minority kid, I think it was a little more different for them to see me. Like,
Yeah.
They had one of my friends, white kid down the street. He was cool as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
It was him and me, and everyone else was African American, man.
Really? You get a lot of shit or no?
At first you do, you got to. It's like I said, it's one of those deals. You got to go out there and just handle your shit.
For sure.
It's just ends up happening. It's just the nature of it because, you show up new in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, they're either going to test you and make sure you never come out your house, or they're going to say, fuck that. He going to come out his house. Don't fuck with him.
And what, you had siblings and stuff too?
Yes, sir. I had my younger sister and my older sister with us.
Yeah.
We lived in a 2-bedroom bungalow, about 700 square feet.
A bungalow?
That's what they call them. I didn't know that. It's called a bungalow.
Why is it called a bungalow?
I'm not sure. It's a little bit after what they build the shotgun houses. It's almost like a shotgun house. Have you seen those?
Yeah, that's how my grandma's house was.
Correct. So
where they're real long.
Correct.
Yeah.
But this one
to the back.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this one they kind of did it, but it was like a double wide shotgun, pretty much. It's a bungalow. It's a 2-bedroom.
Oh, okay.
It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. We shared
Gotcha.
a bath. And growing up, actually, man, we always had people living at our house. My dad, for whatever reason, he always had people that would come from Mexico and they needed a place to stay.
That's kind of a cultural thing.
It is.
Isn't it?
I guess so, in the Hispanic community. So, so to me, it was just always normal, man. It just, I don't know, growing up with a bunch of people.
Yeah, I feel like, me coming from a divided house race-wise, my mother being white and my father being Mexican, my family's more Chicano, you know what I mean? Like my grandma, she's from Mexico, from La Paz, but I got more of a look on it, on the actual culture-wise, especially when I met you guys, like, Kondo and you and a lot of our other friends and, like my wife and stuff like that. But seeing how it is, man, like I feel like that culture, that family and togetherness and helping each other out, that's pretty much non-existent in America. You know what I mean? Like to like American culture, it's more divided.
Right.
You know what I mean? You think that's more of like that comes from like more of a Mexico thing, like, or is that?
No, because it's actually been here in America for a long time. It's just dying out everywhere.
You think that's a generation thing?
It's just a
I've always
generation
thought
thing.
It's more of an American thing, like
It's a generation thing because
because I feel like I only see that a lot more in immigrant communities. You know what I mean?
Well, the reason why is because the struggle is a lot.
People who come from their parents are immigrants. Like you only see that then. You know what I mean?
Like
once you're Americanized, it's like the kids that come down the line, like it's gone.
Well, it's because the struggle is there for everyone. What it is, when you come in, and it doesn't have to be from Mexico. It could be from China. It could be from any other country. Just think about any country. I don't care which.
Struggle kind of creates.
It's a struggle, correct?
Yeah.
The struggle creates a community.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what it is. So what ends up happening, you come here, and after generations, that struggle stops, and the separation starts to happen.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean.
Because people, like I remember what I told you earlier, it's a lot harder to help someone that don't want to help themselves than it is to help someone that wants to help themselves.
Yeah.
But when someone wants to help himself, he don't need help. But everyone wants to help the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't want to help the person that does too much work. That's going to need too much work. He's too complicated.
Okay.
So that's where that happens. So what they do, they end up pushing away. The person is either going to, they'll disown them.
Yeah.
But if you go to other countries, they don't disown nobody in the family unless it's for something that they terribly did wrong. For whatever reason, they still help the family.
That's what I'm saying. So it's
Right.
it's a different, like, that's what I'm saying. In
But
American versus Mexico, the culture is different.
No, but it's stopping over there too. Like I said, and even in
I
Mexico,
guess depending on wealth.
correct,
Okay.
because
So that your income.
correct.
Yeah. Because one thing I've noticed, you know what I mean, like growing up, is we spent a lot of time, like especially when the older generation was around before they died, like my great grandmother, you know, all them, you know, they came more from a tight knit family. Like, you know, we'd go over there, you know, every weekend, every other weekend, have dinners, holidays, shit like that. And you know, we still do the same thing, but it's a lot smaller. It's basically just like the more immediate
and it
family,
all
you know.
And it all has influence, my man. It all does. Like, you know, music, TV, everything has influence on stuff like this, because if you go to, you know, an hour away from Kansas City, which is, you know, north or south, anywhere you go to any one of those little towns, you'll still have farming communities where there's still community. They still look after each other. They know everyone. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, the thing about a city is
that small town
vibe. Correct. You know, one of the biggest things about our city, you know, there is no such thing as helping no one out. That's the thing they've lost here, and that's. I
guess you're right. I mean,
and that's even in family.
Live in a bigger city,
and that's even in family. That's even in family.
I can't imagine how it is in like in New York, because I mean, our city's big, but not compared to like a New York or in Los Angeles.
Correct. You know? And I you know, and I've noticed that, because when I go out to you know, small towns, you know, even if I went to an all Trump town, if I go in and they got all Trump fucking signs in the whole nine, and me being Mexican, I get welcome, bro. But I also go in with an attitude and a positive attitude. I'm not going in there, dude. I don't care, bro. I sometimes get why you guys are out here. I don't blame you, my boy. Yeah, you don't want the city to. I get it.
Well, that's the biggest misconception, and I'm not even a Trump supporter. I don't fucking deal with politics in general, but the whole racist thing, you know, that's also divided people too, is politics. You know, I mean, that's a big thing.
Well, racist like money. Just think about money. Money is the biggest divider.
Yeah.
People don't get that. People don't understand that if you have money, you can set any color at that table. If you broke, you're gonna sit out.
Oh, for sure.
So that's the race.
Yeah. No, you're right.
That's the race. You look at. I don't care who it is. I mean, that's not. I believe that there's always been a race thing, but that race thing is stuck to more our working class and our poverty community.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're the most influenced by the media.
You see what I mean?
Watching CNN and Fox News, taking all the propaganda.
Because you'll have Trump and Bill Cosby having coffee together, no problem.
Oh, for sure.
You feel me?
I mean, they got to think of a way to divide us somehow, right? I mean, I guess race is a good thing.
It's the best way.
Yeah. Which is kind of sad.
Because it gets your ego, it gets people's ego going.
Bro, if you're racist in 2022, what the fuck are you doing? That's crazy. But I think it's a lot less than what people think. I mean, but they'll also tell me, well, you're not a person of color, so you don't understand. But I don't know, man.
I personally don't give a shit. I've always said this, like, man, I'm going to respect everyone to the fullest.
I wish people had more of that attitude, more thick skin, bro. I feel like everybody always wants to get offended by something.
You know how many racist jokes and all kinds of shit we heard growing up, man, in the city, bro?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
I mean, even now we bust each other's balls.
It's just insane. So
through friends.
So for me, you know, when someone, it's not even when someone disrespecting you, bro, it don't matter what he calls you. It don't matter what he calls you. If it's disrespectful, then that's just automatic. It don't matter what race you are. You got to handle that as a man or a woman. It don't matter. But, you know, for someone to get mad because they called you something, it's like, look, man, that tells me you ignorant already.
Yeah.
And I can't argue with a person like that.
But if you're letting words have that power over you to where you're letting them offend you, who won? He did.
He did.
Yeah.
Correct.
So what the fuck? Why you
correct.
Who gives a fuck?
Correct.
Unless he's literally threatening you or making fun of your kid or your wife or some shit, you know, then again, it might be something
else. Then we're going to jail.
Yeah. That might be something. But, bro, if you're letting everything fucking trigger you out there in the world, I mean, you ain't never going to get anywhere in life, man. You know what I mean? And I feel like motherfuckers that do that shit, man, they're just soft.
That is. I mean? That's what it is.
And you know what's crazy is I can't even say it's the younger generation because a lot of older generation acting as, bro, my fucking Facebook feed, oh my God, bro. It's like a diary on there.
It's insane. I mean?
Which is cool. Hey, you do whatever you want. You know, you have more than the right, but I also have the right to fucking give my opinion. And Jesus Christ, man. Like, I don't know where the fuck we're going in this
I got to
world.
keep my opinion. What I've learned a lot, man, I just, you know, like, I just stay focused on business.
Oh, for sure.
Because at the same time, man, you can't even argue with no one, either side of political,
but
either side of anything.
You know it's hard.
It is hard
when you see that shit.
Oh,
you're
it's
like,
hard.
ah,
It's hard to bite the tongue
damn,
for sure because you
Jesus
just want to
Christ.
tell somebody to, quit fucking crying and
Yeah, shut the fuck
go
up.
take care of your shit,
And people need that though, man. Do you know how many times, bro? You are one of my best friends. We best friends. We have a group of guys.
Right.
We all bust each other's balls, and I think that's the most beautiful fucking thing. And I know I've progressed a lot in life just being around you guys. You know what I mean? You guys, as friends, have called me out on so much of my bullshit that I didn't see.
And me too. We have to.
And can you imagine if I just lived in an echo chamber of
Imagine
dudes
if
just
I let-
telling me, "Oh yeah, you're cool, like
letting
bro,
you go
I'd-
through life like that.
Yeah, I'd still be the young, dumb, cheap fuck that I was when fucking Condo first fucking met me. Ain't that right, Condo?
Shoot your long socks.
Shoot your long socks. You know what I mean? And it's like, I think everybody needs that shit, man. That somebody
do.
needs to be told at some point you're being a depressing fuck. You know what I mean? And yeah, you're gonna get offended by it. I've been offended by it. I've been, by the things I've been called out on. But if you don't sit back and look at and analyze what your friends are telling you and go, trusted friends,
Correct.
and go, damn, man, he's kind of right, man. I'm kind of being a pussy right now. I need to fucking chill out. You know what I mean? Like, let me reevaluate this or look at this and grow. I mean, you're going to be 40, 50 without friends and wondering, still doing the same shit that you were making the same mistakes you were doing in high school.
Well,
You
being
know what
40, 50 with no friends ain't a problem. It's being 40
Well,
or
you
50.
know what I mean.
Being 40 to 50,
'Cause your
being
friends aren't gonna
ignorant is
wanna-
a problem.
Your friends aren't going to want to stick around for that shit. I'm not saying you need
Correct.
friends. You
Correct.
can do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
What I'm saying is it's nice to have those people around because you don't realize the bad habits or the dumb shit you do until somebody close to you tells you. You know what I mean? That you trust and goes, nah, bro,
Well, check
you're
this out.
tripping on that shit.
Remember what I was telling you about earlier. There's a certain different way for people. Like somebody can be your friend,
yeah.
and that's when we came to those three people in your life. Remember we talked about that. So
Mm-hmm.
when you have those three people in your life, you got to remember the Conrads and the confidants.
Confidants and the comrades. No, hold on. What is the
was it?
confidants are the ones that are close,
Correct.
right? And the comrades and the other ones are the ones that come and go.
Right. So all those you want to just talk to them all the same way so they can go quick.
Hopefully one day I'll have a producer that can Google this shit.
Shoot Condo over there on the
Kind of get
freaking
the fucking laptop out. Help out.
Jesus. But what I was saying is,
Fucking
man,
Condo long socks over there.
what I was saying, like when we tell you things or you tell me things,
Yeah.
I only got a certain group of friends that could talk to me a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get it.
I gotta. So that's kind of what it is, and that's why you listen because it's one of those things. Like there's only certain people that I'll let somebody even get some kind of type of way with me.
Oh, for sure.
So
for sure.
so when we do that, we take it too hard. It's almost no homo, but it's like dating
Mm-hmm.
because you're like, hey man, I really don't like how you act. I don't like this. I don't like that. And if that person obviously they sit there and keep doing this shit,
Mm-hmm.
obviously all you do is just stay away from them because you're like, damn, bro, he's not gonna respect me enough for this or that. Then
Yeah.
there ain't even no point. We end up in a bad situation.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good thing to be able to, tell your friends when they're fucking up or even beat them up. It don't matter. It's
Yeah.
okay. That's normal, man. It's like brothers.
Yeah,
Brothers
hug
fight.
it out afterwards.
Yeah, it's
You know what
okay.
I mean?
It's okay to duke it out and be like, look, bro, I really don't like the way you talked to me that day. And that's just what it is.
But I do think that's the biggest problem is people don't surround them. I know a lot of people who don't surround themselves around people who call them on their shit. I see it a lot with like women. You know what I mean?
Women
Like,
but see, that's where the word,
fuck.
I don't know if we could use the word bitch comes from. Don't be no bitch.
We use whatever we want in this
But I'm just
podcast.
saying
We
though,
don't
right?
fucking
Right.
filter.
That's one of the words. That's why we all like, bro, you being a little bitch because you're being a female now.
Yeah.
We get it from a female. It's okay.
Yeah, 'cause-
It's all right for a female to go back and gossip and do their shit. It's okay for them to.
And there's women out there that do call the women on their bullshit, but
There
I feel
is.
like it's very rare.
It's very rare, but
Yeah.
that's why it's very rare.
Yeah.
Even with guys, but we're just talking about the same thing though.
Yeah.
It's very rare. There's a lot of guys out there that don't call it out. They'll sit there and be
I
like,
feel like more
what
guys
they-
call each
what-
other
what-
on their bullshit.
I know a lot of guys that what they'll do, they'll go out there and talk to someone else about it,
Oh,
but they won't confront it to that
And like you
person.
said, there's some bitches out there.
That's the word.
yeah.
That's where that's what man he'll be being a bitch.
Yeah.
Because he at the end of the day, man, I'm more of a person that I don't like to drag shit out. If it's gonna break that shit. Let's get
Yeah.
it.
No, I get it.
If it's gonna shatter, let it shatter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sweep it under the rug and let's keep moving.
Yeah. So going back to we were talking about, community and culture and all that stuff. So you went down there. You were at these inner city schools.
I went to Central Middle first. Central Middle. Then I went from there. I went to a lot of schools.
Yeah, I was about to say, you were all around,
I was
weren't
going to
you?
say I went to all the schools here. I went to Central Middle, Nowlin.
And what this
The
is what I
last
want to
school-
kind of get to is that, you know, because there's some kids out there right now, or maybe some kids or some adults right now, you know, your age that, you know, had the same path as you. And I kind of want to show them, you know, seeing you grow, that just because, like, you didn't finish high school.
No,
Yeah, you got your GED, right?
I got it online.
Yeah, you got it online. A lot of people go that same route, and I don't want. And a lot of people look down on them for that, you know, and you shouldn't, because that piece of paper don't define you.
But those people that look down on that,
you know,
they're never going nowhere because they're steady looking down.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
You can't go off of their opinions, bro.
for sure.
You can't go off of an.
Well, everybody got an opinion,
But you can't.
Like,
I didn't say you can't go off of it.
no, but I'm saying everybody has
everyone-
an
oh, yeah.
opinion. Don't fucking
I got-
listen to yourself. You know what I
Opinions
mean?
are like opinions are like excuses.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Everyone's got one, and it's okay.
No, what is it?
Like assholes and elbows.
Assholes and elbow.
Everyone's got an asshole in the elbow, baby. So
Yeah.
everyone's got
Pull that mic up
excuses.
to you.
So with that said, man, I mean, you know, through school, they told me I was supposed to be in jail.
Yeah.
I still might. Let me knock on wood, because you know I
let's
ain't
not
made.
do that.
I'm still, you know,
Let's not go to jail.
it's quite not all the way out. You know, I guess until they. But for the most part, man, yeah, you know, and it wasn't their fault. I don't blame the teachers for telling me this shit. I was bad. I was a bad kid, and I don't think I was bad. I would just think I was in the wrong school, the wrong, you know,
In the wrong setting, the wrong environment.
correct. That's it. Because I was never maliciously bad, like, oh, I'm gonna go hurt this or go. No, I was just always moving, always, you know, always on the go,
Yeah.
and that
Still are.
and still are, and that would get me in trouble.
Yeah, but I mean, I think if you find what you actually enjoy, I think that'll fill that. You know,
Right.
like to where you're not running around or jumping off the walls and shit. I mean, who the fuck, as a kid, who wants to sit in a class for
Right.
8 hours?
As
or
a
whatever?
grown up.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
As a grown up.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's not even a kid. As a grown up, you put a grown man nobody wants to, bro. And the only reason some will do it is because we've been traumatized to do that.
Yeah.
And
Indoctrinated.
indoctrinated.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the only reason. Well, nobody wants to sit there. Nobody wants to sit there and stay still and do this repetitive shit every day. Nobody does. I don't think one person does.
Yeah.
I don't even think the people that love working out. The only, it's just something they built so they don't go in that other.
I don't know about that.
No, I'm being serious, because if you like working out, you would have done it. Like, you would literally.
I think you let bad habits take control of your life.
Correct. So
It's very hard to start that.
No,
wheel,
for
but
sure.
once it started, and don't get me wrong, every day, even me working out, every day is a struggle to try to get out, and I have my days that I miss and blah blah blah.
Correct.
But the feeling you get after doing a hard workout, I mean, it's an undescribable. I mean, that what does they say? That release of dopamine or whatever, that
Right.
that from that chemical in your brain that you feel afterwards. It's just, I don't know. You feel like a lot is shed off of you.
I agree.
Like all the worry, all the thoughts that you have, you kind of just work that shit out,
I agree.
It's not the end all be all, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's going to literally fix your life, but
No,
it
for
helps.
sure. But it's a better
Physical
habit.
activity helps.
It's a better habit to have.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. So, like, even people that smoke cigarettes, they don't enjoy it. They just built a bad habit, and now they can't quit.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Maybe 50-50.
It's a 50-50. No, I don't think nobody really enjoys anything that's going to hurt your
man,
body.
A nice cigarette.
Because see but that's you telling yourself.
I mean, I've smoked for a long time. I mean, I've never been. I have been before, like a regular smoker, but for a long time, I've been just that guy that has a beer and likes a cigarette.
But you don't have an
know what I mean?
addictive personality. I've been around you for this long too,
Yeah.
and you don't. You're
Yeah, I mean, we've done a lot of shit together. We've partied.
right,
what I
for
mean?
sure, but that's the
And-
difference.
And like
There's a difference between partying and then there's a difference between
needing it on a Monday.
correct.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So it's a difference, So you haven't. Actually, you probably people that haven't experienced something like that in their life, you got a lot of things still coming, because and they don't have to be. It could be workout. It could be anything. Because like I said, everything's a drug. It just depends what drug you choose.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So until you find one that you're like, dude, like you said, you haven't found that one yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you find that one, you'll never have a day that you'll feel like, damn, I don't want to go today.
Mm-hmm.
You won't have that.
Yeah,
That's when obsession comes in. It's almost like an obsession.
for sure.
You know what I mean? So, and one of my biggest deals, man, I think my biggest thing, I partied with everything. I shut it on and off, whatever the case, as much as we want to say that, the case. But at the end of the day, my biggest thing, my biggest chase, and I know my biggest chase is creating a new business, like a new something that they almost wasn't even planned for me in my life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's a challenge. You said it last time. I like the challenge. And
Yeah.
I do like challenges.
Yeah.
So, with that said, when I find, certain things like this podcasting, to me, I already told you, right? If we don't, when we do that YouTube, if we don't get 100,000 followers in the first, couple
Oh
months.
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Ralph's starting a vlog. We're
Well,
gonna do a YouTube.
Gabriel's
vlog for him.
we're gonna start it together. We're gonna talk about real estate, making money, and flipping
Yeah.
just about everything.
Yeah, we're gonna be the next Ben Mala.
Well, we're gonna teach. He's gonna come to us.
He's gonna come to us?
I promise you. Because a lot.
We may do some networking with him.
Well,
Let's do that.
check this out. Because a lot of these things, bro, I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it. I really am. I can honestly say that I'm obsessed with seeing what it's like to walk in there and, like I said, shit that wasn't even supposed to happen in my life. Like, like I've been talking to you about learning how to fly an airplane one day.
Mm-hmm.
That shit wasn't supposed to happen in my life growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It shouldn't even be a thought in my head.
Yeah.
But now that it came to a thought, I'm gonna make it come alive.
Yeah.
And if it don't happen, then, but I will try. I might be scared shitless and never hop in a plane again,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna go try it. And that's the same thing for everything. That's
You've
the
always had those wild ideas.
that's the adrenaline that and I don't know. It's weird. I don't.
Yeah, from the cars to the planes to the what the fuck is next?
The
man?
butcher shop. The
Nah, but I
restaurant.
mean like the adrenaline rush you like.
Oh yeah.
You do you like fast, crazy shit,
Shit that blows out.
Guns.
Fire.
By the way, is that fucking gun on camera over here? Because we're gonna get
No.
banned off of YouTube.
It's a
right
prop. It's a prop.
now. Is that in the shot? Man, get up, fucking producer. You about to get fired before you get hired.
Here, let's get him on
Jesus
the
Christ.
backside.
Hey, anybody got an audio engineer out there, a producer that's looking to be a part of this podcast? Please let me know. We might have to let this guy go. This dude.
Hey, is this thing recording over here?
Yeah, it is
Oh my
recording.
God!
Take that shit out because I'm about to blur that shit out. YouTube's gonna fucking ban me for that shit.
No, they're not.
They're gonna kick me
How
off.
are they going to YouTube when I got a guy that all he does is shoot guns every day, bro?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Check.
Hey, I'm new at this shit, man. I don't know. I'm trying to make sure we stay on this.
It's a prop anyway.
I already know they're gonna ban me for the shit we say, so I guess fuck it.
Didn't you hear that shit with fucking 50 Cent? It's all a prop.
Is that still
It's prop
recording?
money.
That's still recording. Do you see red numbers on there? Nah.
But with that said, we were actually talking about.
What do you mean? It ain't recording. See, this is why I had to fucking. We'll take a break.
Where you going? Oh boy, Condo about to get fired.
Yes, it's recording, you dummy. Look.
You see?
You said number. You number?
You see a number? No number. Wait. But yeah, man, growing up on
All
the
right,
east,
and we're back.
growing up on the east side, man, it was fun. Condo grew up on the east side. He grew up about a few blocks over from me. We had a lot of fun, man. I rode my bikes, my dirt bikes. My cousin lived around the block.
Oh, you were that kid that rides the fucking dirt bike up and down
Oh,
the
yeah.
street?
Well,
Oh,
we actually- we
fuck.
had
I
a
bet everybody wanted to.
We
kick
had
your
we had a
ass.
4-wheeler. Remember that time I came over there with a 4-wheeler?
That's like the new thing now, ain't it, Condo? The fucking dude that used to ride his ATV up and down the fucking street with no muffler on.
I think everyone does. Most people just ain't got one. Shit, that's the problem.
Yeah, get the fuck, dude. This is why I don't live down here, man. Fuck that. I'd be pissed.
Fuck no, I don't
Condo
like.
wants to
I don't like
fucking-
living up north because it's too quiet.
Hell no,
I get
bro.
paranoid. I'm like,
I'm
damn, it's
good.
quiet out here, man.
No, that is another thing too. Up north, it is fucking dead.
You know, it's
But-
quiet. I mean,
But fuck all that, dude.
I
Who
enjoy.
wants to sit out there in their fucking house and have some dude running up and down? Dude, I have been down at Condo's house where that dude has been going up and down the fucking street in that ATV, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this dude gonna stop? The fuck? Put that muffler back on. What the fuck? That sounds like shit.
Well, be a good neighbor and be like, hey, man, I can help you with that muffler and fix it for him.
Fuck no, they took it off. They like that shit. They think it sounds badass. Get the fuck out of here, man. Hell no, dude. Man, I'm like that old dude. I'm not. Get off my lawn.
No, man.
But nah, man. So
Fast forward
you
a
get
little
through
bit.
school, you get your GED, you know, boom.
I got my GED helping from my lady, man. My lady she helped me.
And
She
you were
pushed me.
already in the union by then, right?
No, I wasn't. I actually had to get that to get in a union.
What were your first couple jobs?
Man, my first couple jobs. I mean, if
Weren't
you
you
work,
working in like a factory or
I
something?
worked at my first job. I worked, that I can actually put on paper was I worked at Have a Snack. It was a restaurant down the street. You remember that, Alex Condo? The Have a Snack on 27th and Van Brunt. There used to be a Have a Snack there. The guy gave me a job. I used to work there after school every day. I was making like $7-8 an hour, but then I ate a cheeseburger, so I really didn't get no money. I only worked 3 hours and shit. My ticket was $12.
Yeah, I would say minimum wage back then when I started working was like 6 something.
That's what I
5
mean.
something.
I worked with him for a little bit. Then, I always did construction with my uncles, man. That's kind of what set me off. I would go roofing with my uncles at the age of 15, and they'd give me anywhere from $50, $60, $80, $100, $200, depending on what we did.
Roofing ain't no joke either.
No, but, they just had
That residential.
residential.
Yeah.
All they did was have me picking up trash on the ground and handing shingles. Pretty cool. I enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
but man, fucking 100-degree weather up there, man.
It was
Shit,
better than being in class for me.
I've worked a lot with you over the years on different projects, residential and commercial, and seeing those guys up there, man, I think
It's
people
hot.
forget, like,
Oh, yeah.
fuck, when you look up on top of these houses, you see them roofs. There was fucking 3-4 guys up there fucking sweating their ass off, and depending on
Yeah.
the time of the year.
It's
But
definitely hard work, for sure.
fuck, man, yeah, that's no joke, dude.
You know,
But so you got into that, and then what was after that?
I didn't get into I did a lot of house remodels,
I thought you got into the painters union pretty young.
I got in there when I was 19.
Oh, okay.
19. So from 14 to about
I guess you got to be 18 anyway.
yeah, from 14 to 17, I kind of just did a bunch of odd jobs, here and there, construction, rehab for a lot of Section 8 rehabbers here. Got paid a lot of cash. Just did that.
Yeah.
At 19, man, let me take that back. I met my lady at 15, 14, 15, I believe it was. We met at 15, and we had a,
Where'd you guys meet?
we met through my cousin Celeste at the haunted houses. Actually,
Oh, really?
she was
Haunted houses.
yeah, she was a new girl on the block.
Is
so
that still a thing?
She was a new girl. She was coming from California, bro. So that's how I had met her.
Oh, really?
Oh,
them California girls, man. They
Got
get
me.
you. Yeah, I understand.
So, long story short, we fast forward, man. We end up getting together. We have a kid. She's 18. I'm 19. I got to get my shit for
You
real.
have 1 kid? You have 3.
No, I was one with my story.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going
We're
with
starting from the beginning.
I was 18, 19. I had my first child, Adrian. And that's when I had to get a job. I had to get some
Where'd
serious.
you guys go? You guys go to the same school or what?
What, me and Belen? For a little bit. Not too
little
long. I got kicked out of Rogers when I was with her.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Rogers, that was middle school.
Yeah.
Damn.
I've been to Rogers twice. I got kicked, a lot of schools.
You don't see that very often, man. Fuck, how long is that? That's a fucking long time you guys been together. That's
20.
That's a fucking beating the
18.
odds there,
18, 20. She's still putting up with me. So as long as she puts up with it, she got it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely not an easy road, for anybody. But that's still cool, though. You guys make it work. No relationship's
Yeah, we got
fucking
3.
perfect.
We got 3 kids, man. We got 3 beautiful babies.
I think people fucking give up too easy nowadays.
That's the thing, and see, that's one of the things. That's what I was telling you,
Trading
man.
problems for other problems.
Fuck that. If you're gonna give up, it's good. I wish you would have
What'd your
given up.
mom always say? I remember she told me some shit like that, or you told me some shit that she said, is that, like, you're basically you'll trade problems that you have already currently for just new problems, because everybody got problems.
Right.
Just because you have this dude right now and he has issues, You know, I'm not saying stay. I mean, if you're getting beat up and shit, you know, don't stay with them. But what I'm saying is that like, you know, the problems that people kind of.
And if you're getting beat up, find out why you're getting beat up. Sometimes you can avoid the beat. You know what I mean?
Dude. I mean, some dudes are just fucking assholes.
That's what I mean, though. But you know, they got a saying out that you can't change your life if you don't change yourself.
Yeah.
You
Start with yourself.
Correct. And sometimes, you know, by changing yourself, you have to remove or eliminate people. And if you have to do that, then that's just what it is. Yeah. Because you can't change.
I mean, I'm kind of just going with like some of the stuff that people stress about and leave each other can be fixed.
For sure. Well, it's easy. Remember, I'm going back to that same thing.
You're going to another guy or a girl, and you're basically just taking on a whole new set.
I'm going back to that same problem that I told you. They do that shit with siblings. They do that shit with family. Yeah. They don't want to help the person that needs help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody wants to do that. Nobody does.
Nobody wants to help the person that needs help?
Correct.
I don't know. I feel like the person that needs help usually gets the attention. I know a lot of people like that.
Well, I guess, I mean, it could work like that, I guess.
I feel like the ones that are doing good that kind of need help, they get forgot about because they're like, oh, well, you know, this guy, Johnny, he's doing all right. You know what I mean? But, you know, everyone's got problems and struggles.
Right,
you know what I mean? They kind of get left in the dark. It's usually the person that's just a fucking mess that everyone gravitates to try to help. And honestly, those people kind of need a little bit of tough love and like, hey, when you figure your shit out and you hit rock bottom, come to me. You know what I mean? Instead of just sitting there and enabling them.
I agree. No, I agree 100% on that.
But no, so you guys, you know, got together at a young age, had a kid at an early age. You know, I'm guessing, how old were you?
I was 19. She was 18.
About same time I had my first kid.
And, you know, with that, you know, I had joined the union with Mr. Frank. He gave me the opportunity to join the union. I did that for about 4 years as an apprentice. Mm-hmm. You know, on my 5th year, you know, I was like, man, this ain't, you know, I can't, like.
How was that apprenticeship program? Pretty hard?
No. It
Not
was
too bad?
It was pretty cool.
I know the
it was hands-on.
I mean, painting's a hard.
It was hands-on.
It's not a hard trade, but fuck, I feel like it's boring. Literally watching paint dry.
Right. And anything you don't, and I say it like this, man, I've never enjoyed none of that. It was just always steps.
Yeah.
Everything in life is a step.
Yeah.
You can either enjoy your step or you can drag it all the way to the top.
Yeah.
But it's always a step. And when I look at things like that, I'm like, look, I'm only going to do this for 2 years or till I get to my next step.
Okay.
So that always helps me. I always have, and I think that's, you know, I don't know, that's one of the things that keeps me from stopping at anything because there's always a next step.
Yeah. Yeah, that mindset you don't see too much because in a lot of people, I mean, just even being in the work that I do, I've seen guys that are just content with going to work, and then I've seen people like me and you and, you know, there are a couple other guys that I know that just, fuck me, it's not enough.
Put it like this, if I would have worked at McDonald's and that was my only choice, I'd have started as sweeping to a fry boy to a cook to a store manager, to an owner, to a franchise owner, and fuck that. I wouldn't even stop there. I wouldn't even stop there. I'd be like, look, I don't even want to run McDonald's anymore. I just want the real estate rent.
But what makes you think? Well, what's in your head that's making you think that?
The shortcut. Remember?
Yeah, but what's the goal? Why aren't you content with flipping fries?
I don't know, because we're not. I mean, I guess we're limitless, bro.
I mean, I think it's more of a mental thing. The mental, I don't know, stimulation, I guess the word you'd use. It's like, it's not there. You don't get enjoyment off. Some people do. Some people like the simple life, but you like the challenge, right? And the challenge comes from a higher positions, you know, more risk, more reward.
Maybe.
You know? I mean, you worked in the union for how long?
I'd say about... All told, I think it was 7 years. It was 7 years total. All total.
When I first met you, you were in the union.
It was total 7 years because I did 4 in my apprentice, and I still did 3 more, and I worked out of town on and off.
Yeah, and I remember you enjoyed it. I mean, it was cool seeing that you know, sometimes being with you.
I enjoyed it till I topped out.
I painted that.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, and you were getting paid pretty good, right?
I enjoyed it until I topped out. That's when I was like, man,
good benefits,
you know, from the whole family.
A lot of people. That's an achievement for them, but for you, it was what's next. It wasn't the finish line for you.
No,
you weren't going to live that. Go to work, come home, sit on the couch.
It scared me. It scared me to sit there and be like, I would see some of my, and there's nothing wrong with it, bro. There's nothing at all. It's a blessing. My parents always told me.
Is that something you've seen in somebody?
It's a blessing.
Growing up, did you see that in somebody where like what made you that?
Probably all the MTV.
Oh, the MTV. That wasn't the fucking answer.
All the MTV, all the boys in the streets. You know what I mean? You grow up seeing all this, and you're like, you wonder, like, hold up, man.
Just seeing the hustlers out there where
that's
you're
it.
from?
You're a hustler. And when I mean
that life,
and when I mean MTV,
not
that's
having a boss over you.
correct.
And, shit, yeah.
And what I meant by MTV and all these other shows, it's these people going on there and putting that persona that.
Yeah,
they
that
don't
entrepreneurship.
Correct, but in reality, now that I get older and look back, I'm like, damn, dude, I never want to be like those guys. I want to be like the guy that you don't see, the guy producing, not even the producer. I want to be the like we said, the silent investor.
Yeah, the guy that you don't know is worth $1 billion.
The guy that
seen him before.
The guy that says, "Hey, man, that's a good show you got there, Gabriel. I'm gonna invest $100,000 on you."
Yeah,
but you go, then you just give me 10% back.
Yeah, that's real wealth. Not the fucking chains
and the reason,
cars.
And I say, why not do that? Mm-hmm. That's what I say. Why not do that? Why I got it? Like right now, I'm in the industry where I do construction. I start off as a painting contractor.
Mm-hmm. Well, hold on. That's kind of where I'm getting to. So after you left the union, then
I went into the roofing side. I did my whole roofing because.
So what made you bring me to that time where you were just like, I'm
chasing the bigger check. I guess
how did that feel to give up something so important to you? I mean,
it wasn't.
That's your fucking livelihood, bro.
But it wasn't.
I can't imagine you telling your wife that.
I told her on the way home.
Fuck, like
I told her on the way home.
Like
she
you
didn't
made
know.
it. You're topped out. You're making good money.
Yeah, but
what the fuck?
One thing, she's always supported me, bro. That's one thing I give her. She's always. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, she's like, this motherfucker is a little nutty, but at the end of the day, he does it.
Something.
He does it. He does it. Like if he said, that's one of the things I've always done. Like, I say I'm gonna do a lot of things, and I've never not done something. It's just I haven't done it at that time because everything I've said I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It's just I spoke a bit too soon on his time.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these things that I told you, I know you could probably think of a few things like, well, but it's just not the time yet.
Yeah, you've told me a lot of shit, but there's one thing about me, I've never held you to it. You know what I mean? Like I don't go, well, Ralph, you told me this.
I hold myself to it though. You feel me?
I know, but I'm the type of guy, I like to talk, I like to listen, I like to hear people. And when you tell me things, I just look at it as like, I like to hear your admiration, your drive, I don't know, dude. You tell me a lot of stuff, man, and I believe you. You know what I mean? Even though it doesn't happen right now, I know one day it's gonna fucking happen.
It's just a time thing.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's time, man. That's one of the biggest things.
But I understand what you mean because you kind of feel like, damn, I tell motherfuckers shit, and it's not because we've had that before,
right.
Me and you. You know what I mean? But I've never held that against you.
No,
not at all.
So when I did that,
if anything, the possibilities just that's the beautiful part.
That's all we got. Opportunities
is talking about it could possibly be something one day. And look at it now.
Right.
We've got a future plan together here soon, coming up with here in a week that we're going to embark on.
Well, so. We really, if you told everyone, we really got a 25, 30 year plan.
Yeah.
People don't have that. People don't have a blueprint of what their life is. That's one of the biggest things.
Everybody looks at the next day, but
not even. They look at tonight's show.
Day. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're worried about if their shit didn't record last night. That's what they're worried about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I get it. Don't get me wrong. I've done it.
Society sets that up for you to have those distractions.
I've done watch. When I think about this, in my 20s, man, I think about all those shows I binged, and I was like, because I've always been on the business side. But I've always held myself back, I guess, because for that same reason that you're like, man, I just need to go to work.
Yeah.
And calm the fuck down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now I'm like, hell no. Now I'm like, dude, I'm not. There's no way. It's really out of my head, that whole holding myself back. Because we're all scared of failing, like you said. I was like, damn, dude. I got a good job. I got everything relies on this job right now. Everything I got it revolves around this job.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I've always admired about you because I've always had that struggle. You know that. I'm fucking scared to.
We
take
all
that
do,
leap.
bro.
You
It's
know,
been-
a lot of people are, but the ones that aren't, man, fuck, dude, I admire those people a lot because that takes some fucking balls. You know.
You know,
It does.
we said this. We got a saying to say, man, I was looking for a job when I found this one.
Yeah.
So it don't matter.
Yeah. So when you told her that,
I just told. I
You
was on
just
my way
fuck-
home. Yeah, actually, I was working about an hour and a half away,
yeah,
and I was the
Pull
same
that
way.
mic up to you real
I was working about
you can move it over to your left side if you want.
working about an hour and a half away,
Yeah.
and we were sandblasting out there with a couple guys. And I remember that day that we had a storm come in, and that hail hit, and I was just like, dude, I gotta go. I said, man, I was working 40, 50 hours a week,
Were you preparing up to that point? Like, did you have some shit that you were kind of doing on the side that you were
I
like
always
ready?
have been. Always have been. See,
You were stacking
Okay.
your chips the right way to where you could make that decision to up and go.
at the time, no, I didn't think it was nothing planned.
Okay.
I was just running, working.
One day you were just like, "Fuck it."
That's what it was. I said, you know what? Fuck this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because I never said, okay, this date no. With the way it worked, I joined a union, and I worked in a union, and I always did side work. I said, man, I'm gonna go paint this house in the evening, this house in the afternoon, this house on Saturday. I always did that, But I was blowing through my money, bro. Just it don't,
allegedly, right?
you know.
Allegedly on the side.
Allegedly, on the side, So all the side work money was kind of just, But then you start thinking like, damn, dude, you start feeling like you're racing yourself.
Well, I feel like you were probably sitting there in these job sites analyzing, going,
Correct.
I could fucking do
that's
this.
it. That's
What the fuck?
and that's what it was. That a lot of it, but I was in the mentality of a worker.
Yeah.
My dad and my whole family, we've always been workers. That's just what we do. We're workers.
Was that mentality? Because I know, especially coming from immigrant parents,
It's still hard.
I know that's one thing I hear a lot that's instilled in you is to get a job and stay at that
They
job.
still want to see you with a shovel, bro.
Is that something that was put on you when you were growing up?
It's funny because even if I bought a $10 million house and all kinds of shit, my dad still want to see me with a shovel.
Really?
That's just. It's just the
So
way.
growing up, that's
it's
kind
just-
of, he was like, what the fuck are you doing?
To this day, he's like, "What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck do you do?"
Even now.
Because it's not in a bad
Well,
way.
he's probably calmed
He's
down.
scared.
A little. Yeah.
He's more scared because he knows that if you don't work, you go down. Does that make sense?
I feel like, fuck, I'd tell him anybody can pick up a shovel. I can go back and pick up a shovel.
But
if
that's
it
what
fails.
that's the mentality we got to break away from, bro. That's the same thing. You can go
'Cause
back
that's
to
what
your
his parents
The
taught
same thing
him.
you're doing.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
Yeah,
You're
my
doing
parents were the same way.
No,
Go
no,
to college and
but
try
not
to
even
find
in your
a-
parents' way.
a
You're
job,
doing it
you
in
know?
the same way because you were scared. Your shovel was that factory.
Oh, yeah.
That was your shovel. You were scared to put it down.
Yeah. I think especially when you started having kids and a family at a younger age, because you can't tell me that didn't cross your mind going, holy shit, I've got 2 kids. Well, how many kids did you have at that time? 2?
2.
You had your son and daughter. And that had to pass by your mind going, holy shit, should I do this? Like,
No.
maybe not, because I
No,
don't think that gene's in you.
I think
I think it crossed your mind for
I
a
think-
brief second, but then it was
No,
like, all right, well,
because
fuck it.
I think my kids. I've always said this, man. My kids and even my lady, they got to go where I go.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
No, that's cool. That's cool that you're aware of that, because a lot of people, like, I've always fought that with myself.
And if if they're gonna be mad at me for bringing them to a 1-bedroom house that we have to live here for a couple years, then I'm sorry, man. But that's just what we have to do because that's just how it is.
That's
and
crazy.
and I can't
that you
change
say
that. I can't change that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna. I've been very fortunate to give them, this life. But if it was the opposite, we would have to just go through that the same. Because I've already went through it once, bro, as a kid. So it does to me. It's like, look, now I can go through it again as a grown up, and it's easy.
Yeah, because I think one thing you've always told me is that, like, where you grew up and where you came from, you're like, fuck it, I've already.
You ain't got nothing to lose.
Yeah, you ain't got nothing.
What are you gonna lose?
You've already been through it.
What are you gonna
know?
lose? You know what I mean? What are they gonna do? They gonna make us sleep outside? We slept outside before. That don't scare me, bro. That don't scare me to say, hey, we got to pick up and live in the park for a couple weeks. That's just all that does is make you just go back and sit down and realize, what the fuck am I doing? What do I have to change? What do I have? Why am I here?
Yeah. I think that's one thing I've always looked at you is man, I don't see that a lot, man, because even you right now, the humbleness you have is insane at the stature you're at, like the status that you're at now is.
Thank you, dog. But
it's crazy.
It brings
you know
me
what I mean?
because I think about we're
because a lot of people would have lost themselves already right now, and that's one thing I don't see. And I hope you never lose it. I don't think you will.
Bro. Money
know?
is a tool. I don't even want money because all money does is bring me bad people.
For sure.
So my biggest thing is I hurry up and take the money and I give it to the people that need to take it so they can get my part done.
Yeah. But I think that if there's one thing I could ever tell you, and I've told you this before, we've had our nights of drinking and talking, but that humbleness you have, man, never lose that at all. Because once you lose that, man, it's just it's never good. You know?
No,
what I
I
mean?
get it. No,
and that what you have in you to fuck it. If I do lose it all, I'll fucking. You still have life. So you're still winning. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a fuck if it's in a 1-bedroom apartment or a fucking,
that gives me
$2
chills.
million mansion. You know what I mean?
Because that's all I ever ask our God or our Creator, man. Just let me get up and get it. Because everything, I got it from there. You let me get up and get it. I'll do the rest.
Yeah.
I'll find my opportunity. I'll seek my opportunity. I'll create an opportunity.
Yeah.
We have to. Shit don't, it's just, the only time you do fail, bro, is because you quit.
No, for sure.
That's it.
Basically, it all comes down on you.
It does. If you quit, you fail, and you fail your team. Mm-hmm. Because your team's relying on you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be a whole nother ball game.
That's what I'm saying. So that's kind of so with me. I rather lose money on a deal than tell my team they have to go home.
Well, hold on. So take me through that. So you quit the union. You go and you work and you're
residential.
Doing roofing.
Just do residential
roofing,
painting and roofing.
Painting and roofing. I remember that. I can't imagine that was probably hard.
Especially not knowing.
How is that getting your name out there, man? What's the process?
Door knocking every day. You got to talk to.
Oh, I remember that.
You remember? Yeah, you got it. I got it,
man. Dude. That's a special breed of person.
You got to knock. You got to knock.
You remember how I was? I had a hard time with that shit.
You got to go in there and knock 1,000 doors to get one contact.
You always used to tell me that, dude. You're like, you knock on 100 doors, you might get one.
That's if you're lucky.
Yeah.
But see, what you do then, all I need people to do, bro, is to listen to me for not even 2 seconds. Because for the most, I am is real and brutally honest when it comes to business in that.
Yeah.
And, there's sometimes that's what's always sold me. I'm never trying to sell them nothing.
Some people also have it too. That's
I'm never trying to sell them anything.
You have this thing.
Because see, everyone's always trying to sell, bro.
It's like gravity. Sometimes people are when you talk, I see people that listen to you, man. Not a lot of people have that,
Right.
And I think that's what made you a good salesman too. Because even to this day, you're still a salesman.
Because
you're still selling yourself.
And I've never considered myself a salesman. That's the crazy part. Because I've never, the job I had at Jack Miller Chrysler, bro, as a car salesman, I hated it, bro. That job I couldn't do.
You worked at a dealership?
I worked at it when I was 19. I had just turned 19 before I joined the union.
Really?
I had just turned 19. And they hired me on because I was bilingual. And I was a go-getting motherfucker. I had never in my life sold a car. I had never worked at a dealer. Bro, I come from a factory. Yeah. And I seen this post on the paper that says, hey, we're looking for a bilingual salesman. I said, how hard can that shit be? I said, I speak Spanish and English. I already got half the job there.
I know.
So,
hey, man, that's something that's overlooked by a lot of people who are bilingual. Man, that's a useful tool.
So, with that said, I show up, man, they give me the job. I did horrible at it. Yeah. It was, from that day, I said, dude, I'm not a sales guy.
Yeah.
And the reason I say I'm not a sales guy is because they were trying to make me sell their product how they're selling it, And to me, like, say somebody walked in to buy a car, automatically they're like, hey, can we sit you down? They want to get you pre-qualified. The whole nine, you know how it is when you go and talk to somebody. All this. And me, I was more like, oh, how you doing, man? Let me know what you need whenever I can help you. And what I would do is just let them talk, man. I wouldn't even bring up the car at all or nothing. I don't even bring up the product I'm trying to sell. I let them ask me questions.
Yeah.
It's the way I've always done. Because I tell them, I said, I'm not trying to sell you nothing. You're the one trying to buy.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Well, I think realness too, not being fake, not being that typical car salesman, probably helps as well too.
Right. But yeah, with that, I was doing roofing and painting. We were doing houses. I got to the point where I was working out of my house. My wife's always been taking care of all my paperwork and checks and invoices and insurance and all the paperwork type shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was at Aflac working as a rep for them.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, you know, I just got too busy. I started landing some bigger contracts for the same reason. I when I first got my first painting contract, man, they gave me a blueprint. I didn't even know how to look at that thing.
Really?
Like I unrolled it on my counter.
Yeah. So what do you do in that
Check this out.
situation? You're like, fuck.
Check this out. I unrolled it on my counter, and all I could do to try to put this number together was count rooms.
Pull that up too.
All I could do was count the rooms on there.
Yeah.
Because I was like, dude, I couldn't even measure it. I didn't even know what to measure. I didn't even know what painted what. It was the craziest.
Was there somebody there that kind of just helped you out?
No, not at all.
Or?
Not at all. Because when I went,
So how'd you learn it? I mean, I feel like back then, I guess YouTube was kind of big.
catching on.
YouTube.
I asked at the time I didn't use YouTube too much, but I asked a couple.
I feel
of
like
my,
it wasn't used that much.
I asked a couple of my buddies that they did construction. They kind of showed me around, but really for the most part, all I did was took a number. I said, man, I counted all the rooms into place, and I figured they're all. But I've had a lot of construction experience.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps. I didn't know how to understand a blueprint by reading it or like what I was looking at, but I understood what each room was, and I kind of ballparked what each room measured just because my experience. Okay, I pictured a hotel room, so I said, there's 300-400 square feet. That's how I got my numbers because I did it my way. I didn't do it the way they would teach you at a school. Okay, you got to take this and measure this this room, count your linear foot, count your door. I didn't do none of that.
Yeah.
All I did was just straight take it to basics. I said, look, it's one room. It's got 4 doors. It's 2,500 a room, 20 rooms. That's where we at. That's just what I did. And I figured worst case scenario, if I got the job, I just have to work and do it.
Yeah.
I don't lose.
Try to make up for the loss.
I don't lose. Not even then. They would just, even if it was a loss, even if I shorted myself 10 grand, I would just have to work a couple of weeks for free. And I'm good with that though. Because I'm learning.
Because you were learning. Yeah.
Because I'm learning.
Yeah.
Exactly. But most people don't want to do that.
You got to start somewhere.
You got to.
Yeah.
And then that's how I established my bar of what my pricing and all kinds of shit. From there it was over. From there it was over. And it's the same thing right now with me developing some of these now we're developing houses, for affordable housing here in the city. I got the opportunity presented to me because I was just going to paint these apartments at one point. And they're like, well, Rafael, we see that you do construction. What else do you do? Me being me, I said, man, I'll build the thing up from the ground up if you give me the opportunity. I said, I don't do everything.
Had never done it before. I said, I'm not a house builder of the whole nine, but I tell you what, I got a pretty good team. We can put this together. Yeah.
And that's all we need, because at the end of the day, we got to understand that we can't do everything on a project. We got people that are good at that. They're designated for that. You got it. Thank you.
Hold on. I cracked it open earlier.
You gonna splash me with the...
I know. There we go. Oh, man. That looked probably bad. Like, what the fuck is that guy doing?
What is that, bro? Looks like some coffee beer.
Guinness.
I'm good.
Oh, dude, you don't like a Guinness? Come on, man. You still on that Bud Light shit?
Bud Light, baby. Blue water.
Fuck.
That's how we do it. Blue
BLs.
water. Or the little gold ones, the Modelo's.
Fuck
Oh,
all
no,
that.
I gotta quit. That's my...
You want a water?
Actually, I do. When we could cut out parts. So yeah, man.
So you get into the commercial side. I kind of remember the time where you. Tell me if I'm wrong or not, but was that shop I used to work at? Was that one of your first kind of big TPO roofs?
Which one was that one, Gabriel?
May.
This year? Last year?
No, that shop I worked at over there off of 40. Remember that shop I used to work at over there?
Yeah. Okay.
The one that you can see from
the
that,
one I did the roof
hill?
on. Okay.
Yeah.
That was one
it?
that was one of my bigger roofs that I had done for an overlay.
Yeah, I remember when we did that together. That was pretty cool, man. I mean, not together.
Well, check
all I
this
did
out.
was give you the reference.
So check out that project there, bro. I bid it so low that
I
it's insane. Like I think about it now, and I think it was like 300 squares. Just throwing that, and I think I charged like $60,000, bro.
Really, and that's
that's a job I would have charged less than fucking $250,000 right now.
yeah.
But the reason we did it at the time,
So they got a fucking deal.
They got a deal. They got a hell of a deal.
Hopefully, they weren't too much of a fucking
I think it was
Dicks
80.
on
It was
the
in
team.
89,000. No, they were good. I think they figured they're like, dude, let's leave him alone. He done came
Yeah,
out here.
we done skated away with fucking almost a free roof over here.
But yeah, that's how I learned. That was my college. Just going out there and doing these jobs and breaking even, making no money, or sometimes some jobs I made so much money I was freaked out
Were you?
because I was just like, the fuck, you know what I mean? Because
Like, what do you mean freaked out? Like how? Like
this is something had to been wrong. There's no way I cleared 70, 80,000. You know what I mean? So it's like, dude, what? Like, did I not pay something? Did I?
that's that worker mentality right there in your head.
It is.
That
I
system
couldn't even
getting a
enjoy
hold of
it.
you.
I couldn't even enjoy it because I was like, man, I know there's got to be something that I must have not paid. I must have just, I don't know. It just didn't. If it was weird, it's just weird, you know. I remember that I got a picture of my first check that I have like that. I couldn't freaking believe it. It was $89,000.
Really?
After that, dude, I said, dude, it's over.
Damn.
It's over. You know.
So you start diving into the more commercial side.
Correct. Because remember, I always said let's work less and get paid more.
Leaving residential as what, like a backup, you know, here and there, you know,
And not
at that
even-
point. And over time you just transition
Correct.
into that.
Because in the residential side, man, it's always great if it's me with my team, like me and 2 other painters, or me and 3, 4 other painters, or me and a group of roofers. But on the residential side, man, it got to the point to where it gets too hectic because you got 10, 15 different homeowners, you know.
Well, I hear that a lot. That
And it's hard.
residential
It's
work
just
is
hard.
hard just
It's
because
just hard.
of the
You have to be
the
personal.
want of perfection.
Well, that's what I mean. You have to be personal.
You know.
Say you go to a residential house, and I go to you, and I go out there and I sell the whole job, and then I send someone else to do it. You're like, hey, what happened to Rafael? They don't have that communication anymore. So that's kind of what they're missing. And they want Rafael through the whole project, or they want Gabriel through the whole project.
Yeah.
You know, in commercial, it's a little different. In commercial, you know, I go in there, I talk to we call him the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
He lets me through. Then I go into the decision maker.
Yeah.
And from there on, I never see him again until it's done.
Yeah, there's like a set process.
That's it.
Like a system in place that everybody's on board. They
They
know
don't
how
care.
shit runs.
Yeah, because they don't want it. It's more more structure, more professional.
More
I like
professional.
it. I like it. You know, with the residential side, at the end of the day, if you want to go far, the customer's always right.
Yeah.
So that's the hard one, because sometimes they're not, and sometimes they are. They'll
And
take advantage.
Sometimes the customer can have an unrealistic expectation.
For sure.
And don't get me wrong, it's their money that they're spending.
For sure.
I totally get that.
That's what I
you
mean.
know?
I can't. So you can't argue with that. That's what I've
But
always said.
we all know, me and you know how construction is, and not everything's perfect.
No.
You know, I mean, even if you go into some of these commercial buildings, you'll be able to point out and notice some things. You know
Correct.
what I mean? Like nothing's perfect. It's made by human beings, man. I mean, we're not perfect. We're not a machine. You know what I mean? So
I think our biggest complaint on the side from residentials, it wasn't even that. I think it was just more them, you know, they would try to get something extra always.
oh yeah,
That was the biggest thing.
yeah, for sure.
Like, because our everything
Our
would-
penny pinchers.
correct. You know, they would, or at the end of the day, when it comes to pay, they would always try to, well, you did this. I was wondering if I could just knock off $1,000 or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, what? How does that? I mean,
Yeah, not understanding that. Fuck, man. You know, you have a life too. You got kids and a family at home. You're like,
Correct.
fuck, you got guys you got to pay. you know?
correct. So that was but you know, on the commercial side, it was definitely a lot easier to work
Yeah.
with the customers.
And a lot more opportunities.
A lot
I'm
more
sure,
opportunity for
you know?
sure.
And but yeah, so you start diving into that.
Commercial roofing and painting, which now we're mainly more of a developer.
Yeah.
We're building affordable houses for different communities here in Kansas City.
Okay.
You
And
know?
that's all you guys are kind of focusing on right
Yes,
now?
sir.
Okay.
And my biggest focus is actually, right now I'm building for other communities. So I'm essentially still the general contractor.
Mm-hmm.
But I have some land that we're working that's already ours.
Mm-hmm.
And we're hoping to develop on those, some affordable housing.
Yeah.
To where then, because my biggest goal to get out of this, bro, and we're always going to end up working for somebody, right? I get, that's what they always say.
Sure.
But I think on the developer standpoint, when we do that, that is the top of the.
It makes less. You know, really, it's only you and the bank. I guess
That's
it would
it.
be, right?
Thank you. And from there on, like I said, I keep
Yeah.
I would always keep my RA construction. That's gonna always stay,
Yeah.
because that's what builds.
Yeah.
But my goal is to eventually just be taking land in building these apartments. Condo was just talking about one they're doing here in Kansas City that's about $100 million, bro. You know, and that's community builders here in Kansas City. And that's kind of the goal that we would like to get to.
Yeah.
For two reasons. We have a lot of the stuff that a lot of these developers don't have, which is manpower and the actual skill to build at an affordable cost.
Oh, okay.
That's the part where anybody can build. We know that.
Yeah.
I mean, you give me $10 million, I'll build you. You know, it don't matter. But can you build it for $1 million? Is the question. That's where people don't have that, and that's kind of what sets me apart from a lot of these other development companies and all these other people. So essentially, with me, I'm looking to just partner up with the bank, because at the end of the day, once me and the bank are together, then I don't have to go bid work for no one else.
Yeah.
Because then I'm gonna actually put my project out for bid.
Okay.
And let other people compete against it. And if they're too high, we would let RA build it or the whole nine. But if somebody can build it for cheaper than RA, believe me, I'm gonna let them.
Yeah. No, I get it.
You know.
So what's your what's your plans for the future now that you kind of laid out what you're doing right now? And I know you say that later on you've got some plans to actually being a developer yourself, you know, like, you know, doing your own thing. That's the goal. Is that pretty much the end goal, you know?
For now.
Yeah, for now. Because I've always known...
Until we hit that, until we ring that bell.
Well, there's always one thing I've known about you. You've always kept multiple doors open. That's one thing I've always respected, is that, you know, you've always had that hustler mentality to where, like, you're focused on your main thing, but you're always making sure there's other shit going on. I mean, from fucking trucking to car dealership to, I mean, you've had so many different ideas. And
grow supply store.
Grow supply store.
Grow house. The whole nine.
Even your building. I remember when you first bought your first this building we're in currently right now. I mean, you've turned it into a fucking... you got a podcast studio down here now. There's a podcast studio here.
There's a recording studio upstairs. There's a Evolution Barbershop. We got a restaurant.
You got a fucking...
a flooring store.
Flooring company.
And those are tenants. The only one that's actually mine is the actual Evolution Barbershop.
Yeah.
That's actually under a LLC that I created.
Oh, is that yours? Okay. What's your plans with that?
Grow more stores.
Okay.
And I got a guy running it right now. The way it works, you know me, I buy real estate. Yeah. I like to buy real estate. So we're going to have plenty of opportunity to put different barbershops everywhere. With this guy that I got with me now, we're partnered up in the fact that he runs everything on a barbershop side. I'll make sure that it's going to get turned out and ready for him to open up a second one, because it creates him more income. I'm trying to get up, like even these barbers, I had barbers in the past. I could never get them to understand that, hey, man, I need you to quit cutting hair, bro, and teach these guys so you can go open this next store. You know, that's always my biggest challenge with anyone in any business. That was, you know, we got to learn how to put the tools down. So with this guy, we understand now. We have an agreement. You know, we have 4 chairs at this barbershop. We got our base commission, our base whatever. The goal is, as soon as he has all those chairs running in the whole 9, and I hit my number that I want to hit, and he hits his number, I'm already working on the second store. I'm already have Evolution number 2 going, because my idea for him is just to go around to 10 different stores.
Oh, so you're trying to do like a franchise, like a Great Clip, the next Great Clip,
correct,
but better,
but barbershop style.
Barbershop style, yeah, because that's one thing that the problem out there.
That's why it's called Evolution, because these barbers, they're also not tied down to me. You know, it's more of a space rental.
Yeah, booth rental.
A booth rental.
Yeah.
But they still fall under all the Evolution stuff, but it works for them because they have no cap on what they make.
Yeah.
You know, so
I'll tell you what, one thing that'd be good is to get some of those up north, because
fuck,
man, the whole Lady Jane's and Great Clip shit. I mean,
well, I'll tell you what, man.
I think people that go there ain't never been to a barber. I mean, when you get a cut from a barber,
it's different. You feel fresh.
Fucking,
that straight edge, even if
the straight edge, the fades. The whole nine. Fuck.
Like, I don't feel like I got a haircut. If they don't straight edge me, I'm like, look, man.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, nah.
It's like, not, you know.
If my cut don't take 45 minutes, I'm not. If you cut my hair in 15 minutes, I ain't going there.
Oh, I don't care about that. I just care as long as they're straight edge and they're good.
Time, my buddy Abraham, go check him out. He's at Miracles Barbershop, best barber in the city, in the state. We'll say that. Actually, he's in Kansas.
Besides Evolution.
Yeah, no, he's in Kansas, so I'm not talking about Missouri. Evolution's in Missouri.
Well, tell him to come on. Let's open the Kansas Evolution.
Yeah, well, I can't speak on some of the things, but knowing my buddy, he's got shit in the works. But yeah, man, I mean, if you ain't getting cut up at a barbershop, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. So come down to Evolutions, check them out.
And like the Evolution, it just started off because I had an extra space.
Well, I was in there the other day, man. It's nice,
I had an extra space there, and I'm always thinking.
Do you have booths open right now for rent?
Yep.
Do you?
Yep.
Okay.
We do.
How many you got open?
I think 2 of them. 2 of them are available.
If anybody's out there looking for a booth to rent, come on down.
Off
of 9th and
Brighton.
9th and Brighton.
And like I said, this whole idea, man, it just starts off all these. Just like I did birds and like I did chops.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another thing I wanted to get into. That's another one of your businesses there. Off a Prospect.
Yep. And we'll get into those right now. But all those businesses I start up like this, bro.
Yeah.
I'm starting them off because I want to build a team. I'm not doing it for one store. I wouldn't even waste my time, bro. I stick to construction. You know what I mean? Construction makes me my money.
Well, then what makes you want to do all these other things?
Because I want to buy real estate.
So that's the end goal. Is just to own the property.
Correct.
Then
the business is a bonus for me.
Then what's making you create the business though? Because you could just own.
Okay.
Like even with Evolutions, you could own that building. But what makes you want to create the idea of Evolution?
Because I can't get people or certain businesses. You got to understand the community.
You like that turnkey.
Correct.
Here's the barbershop.
It makes it easy for
Here's the name.
It makes it easy for anyone.
Just come in here and fucking cut hair.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really does. And if I had the opportunity,
or even to the point where you say you could franchise that out to somebody who really wants to be serious about it.
Because one of the biggest things that I've noticed being a landlord, everyone wants a business until they have one. Okay.
Why is that?
Because there's a lot more business than there is in their trade that they like. Sometimes they don't, like a barber. They don't understand that their passion is a barber, not a businessman.
Okay.
So by me doing this, I let barbers do what they're good at, the best thing they do, and I do what I'm good at, which is the business side, which is to grow.
And they do hair.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because even myself, I put myself in businesses to where I'm like, damn, dude, I'm horrible at this, but I'm good on this side.
Yeah.
So I got to understand.
You're good at directing, setting it up, getting it together.
Putting it
but
together.
You need someone to run it.
Correct. That's their passion.
Yeah.
They got to have.
That's hard to find.
Not really.
No,
not really. Because a lot of times, if you talk to a lot of these people, they have the passion but they're chasing the business. You know what I mean? And when they get to the business side, they all of a sudden get overwhelmed, and that's when they start thinking about career changing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I guess that's that team you talk about.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. So it's a team. It's a team. So. What I'm looking to do,
just because you can't run a business, you shouldn't look down on yourself because of that. Because you can meet that person that can set that up for you.
You're that person that'll grow it to 20.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can't run 20. You can grow it to 20. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I run them
with the help of a person like you.
Because I have a team also. I'm not running these businesses, bro.
Yeah.
We have tax accounting people. We have. People that do all. It's a lot of BS that goes into business that I didn't know. I wasn't aware.
With your current job, you're not out there doing the construction part. You've got subcontractors and stuff like that.
Superintendents, project managers.
You're putting everything together.
Correct.
They're doing their part. You're doing your part.
I bring the deal in.
Yeah, and without each other,
it won't work. It won't work.
There is no.
I can't do it.
None of the projects you have going on currently. Yeah. Okay.
So. Me, I'm a horrible project manager. Mm-hmm. Why? Because I'm always chasing the deal.
I don't think horrible. I mean, I don't think you would have got here.
Well, I say horrible because I've brought people.
Maybe comparison to others
correct,
that
are good at it. For sure.
But they could also be like, well,
okay, I guess don't get me wrong.
Well, I'm not a good business owner.
I guess I take that back. You're right because I'm not horrible. I guess
scoot that mic over for you.
I'm just not.
So you don't have to lean.
It's something I don't want to do no more. Because it's not that I don't. It's just.
No, here, scoot that. Hold on. Scoot it over and then turn it towards you. There you go. So you don't have to lean so much. There you go. Hey, man. It's all right. Hey, it's Ralphie's first podcast.
Fucking Ralph over here.
Fucking Ralph. We're going to get this guy a podcast so you can talk, bro. You know, when he showed up earlier, it is, what time is it?
Actually, I tell him why.
What time is it? It's 10 o'clock at night. We done worked all day and came. You can probably tell I'm tired as fuck. Both of us probably. And this is his first podcast. I haven't done it in 6 months, so this might be a little hard for everybody, but we're gonna get through this. So,
No, yeah. Sorry, man. I got the ladies like, where you guys at?
oh damn, checking up on you.
I said, we're at the casino.
Wow,
That's gonna piss her. I'm with Gabriel. She's gonna call your lady.
this dude. Hell no.
He said, not funny.
Shit. You're tripping.
I'm like, man, we started at the podcast thing. Me and Gabriel ended up at the casino.
Wow.
I
Nah,
get
she
in
knows how
trouble.
this podcast thing goes,
Nah.
man. That shit takes a while.
But
Nah. So you're doing all this shit. You want it turnkey, as we discussed. You got the Evolutions Barbershop. You set it up and get people in there. I want to talk about if you don't mind, the chops and birds that you got going on, because I think that's gonna fucking hit, man.
I hope, man.
Hit.
I think so too, man. I really do. It's food. It's food, you know, and we're in a time where people are cooking less. So it's always gonna be it's just one of those deals.
But the whole aspect of birds and chops, I mean, even take them to that like explanation of that name. You know,
right.
like
I took it
chops being the butcher side,
right,
correct, and birds being more the restaurant,
correct.
You know, and I like how you have that set up. Is that something you're thinking of doing nationwide, or like I know right now we're focusing on the one,
correct,
you know, but your ideas for the future, is that something you're thinking
open
of?
more stores
And both together or maybe separate, you know?
Well, I did 2 separate businesses so I can separate them at one point, because the birds, essentially, my vision of it is to have it'll be a drive-through, just like you would go to Taco Bell.
Yeah, tell me about what do you got planned for that? Like how is that
birds?
set up?
So birds is set up. What it is, it's a firewood grilled chicken serving place.
Like a rotisserie style.
Not necessarily, because the rotisserie, they're actually in that deal rotisserie. So here, what we do, we got a grill that's 8 foot long by 4 foot, so it's just a big open grill. And what they do, they cut these chickens through the back and they lay them flat on the grill.
Okay.
They marinate for about, I don't even know how long, 8-10 hours. You know, they got the whole deal. And the ideal of this is to bring something to our urban community here in Prospect, because we don't have no healthy foods, bro. And I'm not saying this is the healthiest one, but at least it's grilled.
Better than McDonald's.
Correct. It's grilled.
Because that seems to be a big thing a lot in the inner city is fast food.
Fast food.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to bring something that's
I guess
bringing the barbecue out to a fast food. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we want. We want fast food because we're living fast lives.
Yeah. Well, that, and some people don't want to sit down and wait 45 minutes to eat.
Like I said, we're living a fast life. We're on the go.
The concept of what you're trying to do is to have that chicken on the go.
That home meal on the go.
Exactly. To where when you get off of work, you go, man, let me go pick up a bird. And are you doing any sides or anything like that?
What it is, it's a full bird, a full chicken that's cut in half, and it comes with rice, beans,
and a bird's just like a full chicken.
It's a full chicken cut down the back and open like a butterfly, just open down.
Kind of like the ones you see at like Price Chopper and shit like that, like in a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the old rotisserie style chickens, but you're going to be cooking over an open flame, or
correct, open flame.
Yeah.
And it's just got beans and rice. That's the only 2 sides you have, and the only thing that we have that'll be a dessert will be the churros. That's why it's birds, chicken, and churros.
Okay.
So that's the only other thing that you have. You got to have the sweet, you know.
You got to have the dessert.
You got to have some kind of.
You know what I mean?
So so that'll be pretty basic, man. Just grilled chicken.
Pull that up too.
Grilled chicken. And those 2 sides, you know, just. And my goal is to bring those, you know, to just different communities, because it's pretty basic. It's pretty simple.
Well, sometimes simplicity is better. You ever notice that? You ever go somewhere where you have a bunch of shit?
You don't even know what to get.
You're just like, God damn, what the fuck? Like, sometimes it's just nice, like the Chick-fil-A style. You just, you're getting chicken.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's what Chick-fil-A did, and that's kind of where I got my concepts from, because I'm just doing what they're doing with what everyone else is doing, man.
Yeah.
It's all. I'm not reinventing the wheel, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, I think just sometimes people try to start a business and just try to do too much. They want
That's
to be
what it
that.
is.
Oh,
Unique.
we got this, and that. And like sometimes, damn motherfucker, I just want a chicken and some fucking rice and beans. You know what I mean? And I get that, because nobody, who the fuck wants to make that all the time?
No.
You know what I mean? It'd be nice that Wednesday during the
It
middle
takes
of the
2
week.
hours to grill a chicken, an hour and a half.
Yeah, and you're like, fuck, man, let me go pick up this chicken. Let me get some sides, bring it home to the family. You feed a family of 4.
Be done.
You know what I mean? So,
And if you look at I think they have.
are you guys doing like a walk-in or drive-through or like both?
Not at
or
this
what?
one. This one will just be a walk-in, because, like I said, of the location we are. So this location I bought this building 9 years ago, and it was a mechanic shop. It was 3,000 square feet. It's got 3 bays in the front, 3 10 by 10 garage doors in the front. And I had a buddy of mine that was renting for the past 6-7 years. He had Randy's Auto out there, did pretty good.
Yeah.
Dude was doing about 30, 40K
Yeah,
a
that
month.
place is always packed.
I mean, he was doing $30 to $40,000 a month just at that, with 2 other mechanics. So the dude was doing great. Long story short, he decided to get away from mechanic shop. I didn't want to rent the place as a mechanic shop no more, because it really has no parking. It's on a bus line, right off of 46 and Prospect. So it's right on the bus line. So man, I was like, man, what are we missing out here that we don't have? And there's a fish store that's across the street called Murdoch's, man. And
That place, man.
that place stays packed.
In
It
there.
stays packed. So I was like, man, what do we have? What do we not have out here? You know, I'm in an all black neighborhood right now for the most part. There's a few Hispanic people. We're 10 minutes from the plaza. I say, man, everyone's going to Northeast to the carnicerias. You know, those are those Hispanic butcher shops. We have nothing close to that side. I can't think. We gotta Save a Lot. What else they got over there? They got to Save a Lot and it's stuff like that. So there's nothing that's bringing actual fresh meat and fresh produce. You know, so my idea was like, man, I got this place here. Let me just open it up and turn it into a butcher shop, which is the Chop side. You know, Chop's Butcher Shop.
Yeah. I mean, but what kind of, you know, because at the carnicerias, it's like a different type of meat. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
when they prepared and everything. Like, you plan on
sure.
doing something like that, or you plan
No,
on doing
both.
like a
I plan on
like
doing
a
both.
butcher shop?
I
Because
plan
I've
on-
been to both.
I plan
you know?
on keeping the butcher shop more than I do carniceria, because I'm not sticking to what our community's been doing in Hispanic.
'Cause
with
they already got a
carnicerias.
bunch of them
I'm not
over there.
looking to do that, bro.
Yeah.
I'm more looking. If you look at my butcher shop, I'm more looking to do like the. Well, let me finish what I was getting to. I'm more looking to be a butcher shop, like these other ones out here where they got the T-bones, the fillets, the whole nine. But the only other thing that I would separate myself from these butcher shops and las carnicerias is that my biggest thing is to get home delivery, bro. Like,
Okay.
because one of the things is
Like a Uber Eats type thing?
not
Or
even
like
Uber
a
Eats.
your own shit.
Like we deliver our own shit, because what we do, we put it in a box and we put it in with dry ice, and we'll put like special cuts. Like say you go on my website, you're on Chops right now, and you want fajitas.
Yeah.
Bet you go on there, you say, man, I want 10 pounds of fajitas for this Saturday because I got a cookout.
Yeah.
So what we do, we send you the fresh fajitas. Everything gets done. It gets packaged in a styrofoam cooler, and it gets shipped to your house, just like they do at what is those other places that are delivering right now?
Like Omaha Steaks.
Omaha
Online
Steaks,
shit.
online
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But because right now you can go online and order an Omaha steak, you can order a T-bone steak, you can order a ribeye, but you can't order a ranchera.
Yeah.
You can't order.
But I thought you weren't going to that.
Like I
But
said,
you'll make the
correct. Like I said,
If the market's there, you're gonna do it.
correct. If they're going there and click on their binder, because that's what's unique. That's what's different. That's the one store that if you live in the suburbs, you're not gonna go to Northeast to go buy it.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But you're gonna order it.
They tried having
You know?
a carniceria up there up north off of Vivian for a while, and I don't know what happened. It went out of business, but
Man, when you go into the communities in the suburbs, bro, it's a hard competition because you're dealing with Walmart, you're dealing with Price Chopper, you're dealing with all these other
yeah,
stores.
Save a lot, all that.
So
shit.
me being up here in the urban community, man, it's a little different because people out here live day by day on the check, bro.
And I think it's culture too.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like it's just different. You know, like you grow up going to these places.
Correct.
and
It's just a habit. It's a
different,
habit.
what I mean?
it's like I got to go to the carniceria even if it's just for
Yeah.
fabuloso.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nah, for sure.
So it's one of those deals, man. I have my mom overpaying for things that I got in the city that you can get at Walmart for cheaper. I don't know why.
But it's just a different experience.
I just don't know why.
you
It's
know?
just
I mean, it's a different experience walking into Walmart than it is at
For sure.
Doritos up the street.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's just a completely, go in there on a Saturday when it's packed. I mean, it's just a whole,
right.
Just the experience itself is completely different.
One of the things that we're gonna hopefully do to stand out different from these butcher shops is we're trying to bring local goods to our store.
Yeah.
Like local honey, local. I met this kid that I bought a walk-in cooler from out in north of Holt, and he sells like pickled eggs and all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? They're all labeled and canned. So one of the things that I want to do is my store to be a hub where other
Pickled eggs, I've never had those.
I've never either, but I just thought it was
Are they good?
I've never had one.
No.
I've never had a
You ever
pickled
had
egg.
pickled eggs?
But this kid's 9 years old, bro, and he raises chickens, and he does pickled eggs. And I'm like, man, but see,
I've heard you can pickle anything.
yeah, you can. But the reason I'm doing this, man, because it helps entrepreneurs like that bring their stuff to a shelf,
Oh yeah.
to the city, because he's,
Find the next thing.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So we're bringing stuff that you can't get nowhere. If you want George's pickled eggs, you got to go to Chops. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That type, because if I go to Walmart, they're gonna have all the pickled eggs of all the other brands, but no, you want the home
Yeah,
made.
like if you want the home Kansas City barbecue, go to Gates.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And that's kind of the idea of Chops. You know,
I guess that's controversial. Gates or what's the other ones? Rosedale.
Rosedale.
And all that shit. Yeah.
LCs.
Arthur Bryant's. all that.
But man, it's just a venture that we're gonna take. It's just fun.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just fun. You got I don't know what else to do if I didn't do stuff like that.
I know it's crazy, man. It's to see the progress on that. It's crazy. From turning into a mechanic shop to, a potential restaurant business, man.
Right.
I mean, it's wild.
And like
but I feel like it's gonna hit, man. I mean, I haven't seen anything like that here in this area. I'm excited to see it, and
and like I said, with that said, I already have a few candidates that are hoping are looking to help me go into the next stores, because it's a pretty basic concept, man. And my goal, what we were talking about, was to open multiple stores, on the bird side and on the chop side.
Yeah.
The chops, and I'm looking to go into urban communities, small, where like even here on 9th Street, where we can get one of these buildings here in the neighborhood, because I'm not looking for big stores, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking for a lot of small ones.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps more control. It's essentially.
I mean, I would, if I was to give you a suggestion, and this is just my opinion, I would say don't set your mind to just that. I would say the possibility to go anywhere. You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Because I could see a Birds and a Chops in Gladstone.
No, for
or
sure.
In Liberty or
I agree.
in Kansas City, Kansas. I could see it all over.
I agree.
Overland Park.
And I think the community will tell me all that, because as we go, like if we go to LC,
But right now, this is what you're
correct,
focused on.
and it's at my reach right now.
Yeah.
It's what's at my reach.
No, for sure.
Because believe me, I agree. I have the opportunity to put one at the airport, because they're bringing in new minority businesses to the airport. But I just don't feel like we're ready yet, because like I said, I got to get mine established, and I got to get it going for a year before I even try to do something like that.
Yeah.
Because we're going to, we're not doing things to fail. We're checking all of our, what is it? Cross your T's and dot your I's.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're doing with it. But with that said, man, when that opportunity presents itself, I would love to put one, like I said, somewhere at the airport, just for marketing purposes, like I told you last time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
if the opportunity is there, why
Yeah,
not?
because you've got people all over the United States,
And that's all we
all over
need.
the country, or different countries coming through there.
And that's all we need. But with that said, long-term game, I'm in it for the real estate, and I'm in it for the development side. All the businesses, it just makes it easier. I try to find businesses that are going to produce income for my either franchisee holder or whoever's running the store. Because at the end of the day, they don't want to run a store that's making them no money and slaving them.
Yeah.
They don't want that. Nobody does. So like I said, we just kept it simple.
Yeah.
You know, birds and chops.
I feel like that's the end of the story, huh?
Let's get it. We'll catch up again.
Well, you trying to leave? Oh,
Our
man.
camera guy's on
Fuck.
overtime, so he said he's got to go.
This fucking guy.
He got here an hour ago, and the first thing he did was eat lunch.
I know. What the fuck? Nah, man. I appreciate you sitting down with me. It was, you know, you'll be on, you know, more times, you know, than just this time. So we'll definitely expect to see you on more. This is the first episode. So,
I like it.
Everybody out there, give me feedback. I'm big on feedback on the show. Your guys' suggestions and comments will help this show grow. I'm always going to run it the way I want to run it, but I'm a big believer on listening to the people and taking those suggestions into consideration to help this become something bigger than what I can even think of. So yeah, man, I appreciate it for you coming on. You got anything else you want to shout out and business?
Pretty much the same thing as you, Gabriel. Whatever suggestion, whatever they want to hear us talk about, man, go ahead and bring it up. If they want to talk about business, they want to talk about more how we grew up in the inner city.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean,
but you got any social media accounts, anything you want to put out?
Not at the time.
No.
No.
Check out RA Construction on Facebook.
That's about it for my construction.
Yeah. And they can see you over here on 9th and Brighton also. Yeah.
Stay tuned to see what else we buy and see what else we create.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll
All right, y'all. This is the first episode of TBAP. Appreciate it.
Good night.
Man, that was a hard one.
Good night. Let's go.
Fuck, 10 o'clock, man? Oh, shit. All right, we need to start this shit earlier.
10:20.
Hey, you need to get here earlier, motherfucker.
10:20.
Right? It's 10:20 at night. I'm dying over here.